2.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reaper Errant on Reaper Miniatures. I am. This is a Dungeons and Dragons game. I almost sounded professional for a moment. I can't do that. I was gonna go into it and be all right there, and I just thought that's
Wrong
not,
Twitch channel for that.
Yep.
We're not gonna do that tonight. Ruin a good streak. So we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons though tonight, and I think I want to say a bunch of thank yous before we get into letting the players say hello to everyone to get that kind of stuff out of the way. And thank you to chat and everyone showing up to say hello and watch the game. Our game before, I don't know, penultimate is too big. I don't think it's accurate, but it's the game before ReaperCon, so it's going to be something. I don't know. We're going to have one at ReaperCon as well.
It's the Hillary
pre-ReaperCon
step
game.
to the top. It's the Hillary step to the top of Mount Everest.
Okay. I wish I knew the reference. It sounds important, though.
It is. It's the last part before they summit.
What Michael
Okay.
lives for is Everest. He wants to summit Everest on his bike, actually.
No way. I would never
His
go.
bike.
Never.
Whew,
Never want to do that.
that's a tough one.
Maybe just come down on your bike.
That'd
Thank
be a
you.
one-time shot.
Yep. But how glorious.
Float in a blaze of glory.
How
yeah.
glorious. You'd have to be covered in sparklers and flags. It'd be great.
I can see it.
So can I. Let's do a Kickstarter.
Oh, no. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
So thank you to Reaper Miniatures for allowing,
Or GoFundMe.
presenting this, allowing this to happen on their channel. I don't know, however you want to look at it. Thank you to Sirenscape for providing background and ambient music. Thank you to John. He is our technical director tonight. Reaper John in the background. You might see him in chat there just like that. Thank you to Sidwee for being our camera operator tonight. And then thank you to all of our players. I will let them all introduce themselves and the character that they are playing in tonight's game. We'll start in the traditional corner with Bobby.
Hello, good evening, and welcome. I am Bobby Jackson. I'm playing Pujol, the mighty and indomitable gnome bard, armed with my trusty war harp and positive mental attitude. Shut up, Proctor.
Awesome. Look forward to it. Don't make me. That's stirred and not shaken. Gene.
Hello and good evening. My name is Bobby Jackson.
Hi, I'm Gene Van Horn. I'll be playing Gooseneck, the Lizard Folk Barbarian, and I'm going to whackety whack something with my axe. So let's get to it.
Jason.
I'm Jason Wiebe. I'm playing Max Yerba Mate, a Peruvian shaman. Oh, wait a minute. I'm playing Corncob Thunder Bludgeon, a nature cleric.
Michael.
Hello, my name is Michael, and I'll be playing Abran, the more mighty and totally abominable wood elf ranger who likes to focus on his bow. But he has a magic sword now.
He does.
Very
I
excited
don't
about
think
that.
anyone laid claim to it in the.
Nobody laid claim to it, so he took it.
Yeah.
But yeah, super excited.
I could
and
use it
looking
for a
forward to
pogo
it.
stick. I don't know what else I'd use it for. Toothpick.
What does
something.
it do? I don't remember.
It's
He-
just
he-
magic.
Yeah, he got it off a
Flies
satyr.
and shoots fireballs.
A satyr that I realized that I did
While
not bring out to
flying.
the table. I better go get at some point. Or maybe,
Yeah, we
yes.
gotta interrogate that guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you haven't given up on talking to him yet. So, Rhonda.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Bender, and I will be playing Fathom, the tiefling who is not at all mighty and completely indomitable. No, I'm dominable. I'm going to stand at the back, basically, is what I'm saying. Stand behind the guy with the magic sword.
You'll have plenty of company.
Fireball!
Maybe with some harp music.
Yeah. Thank you. Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I play Kay Nimblewit, a human rogue.
And I'm Frank. I am the DM for this. I usually am on Nightheart Gaming, but I enjoy these bi-weekly most strange category of weeklies, game that Reaper lets me DM. So, that Reaper Miniatures lets me DM. So, we are going to, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background story for what was going on, and then we'll kind of get right into it, because I know where everybody's at, and I know they're really curious to start talking to this satyr. So, in the last episode, they were following up on a demonic circle from the previous episode that led them to a very old elven ruin within the city of Ven. When they went to investigate further, it seems that a satyr was there, and a very angry old tree, which they pruned. Though it had been there 1,000 years, they kind of toppled it over during this because it attacked them. And the satyr they found was fairly aggressive towards them as well. They defeated him and wrapped them up, and now I've taken them to the, they all agreed to take them to the temple to let the clerics talk to them. And I'm not sure if, in fact, they wouldn't have been with the satyr yet, but I would need to ask if you want to go and get a long rest and then get back to the temple, or you want to go immediately to the temple. It's your choice, sort of, because I know you were kind of...
Didn't we all kind of get healed? I don't know about spells, but...
Healed,
Yeah,
yes.
we're all healed. We could use some spells. What's the timing on the presentation
still down
tomorrow?
1
Because
point.
it's still tomorrow.
Yeah, so the presentation is still tomorrow, but it's later in the afternoon. You could probably...
We maybe should try to
talk
talk
him
now
before.
quickly and then go rest. What do you think, guys? And then be fresh and ready for tomorrow, or do you think there's further threats today?
Yeah.
We need a power nap.
See what do the priests want to talk to this satyr right now and
Yeah.
help us?
I don't want to let them too far out of our
Question him.
sight. I want to hear what they have to say.
Okay.
I do
So
feel bad about the tree, though.
Yeah.
1,000-year-old
Yeah.
tree. I'm not putting that on my
Yes.
resume.
No.
Hey, lumber's lumber.
Hey. Yeah, it's true.
We can,
There's a
we can
shortage.
put it on
Aren't you
the
an-
prow of our ship.
Aren't you a nature cleric?
Does
Yeah,
he
he
ever
is.
make the nature checks? He never makes the nature checks. It's always Pujo
No.
or Abran.
My
So
nature,
I'm not sure-
my nature
I-
thing actually is really terrible. It's like a -1. So
so
that's
how
why
are
I'm
you
always
gonna make
angling
the
for
player?
survival. I don't know. It never bonused me because I'm stupid. Remember? So
You're wise.
Well, you picked the wrong major in college, so that supports that
yeah,
idea.
my nature is -1. So, but my survival is +7. So that's where the balance comes in. So I make stupid decisions, but I can survive them, and that's pretty much the way I live my life.
It's a very meta character for you. Huh?
Yeah.
Pujo's enthralled with the character sheet conversation, but he wants to make a decision on whether we're going to interrogate this goat-legged pest or go have a snooze.
Well, Peugeot better pay attention. I thought we all voted to go do just that.
Yeah.
Just go help
Well,
interrogate and then go home.
We're just chattering.
Okay, I know.
instead
You
of
got to tune
napping,
your harp
napping.
sometimes. You gotta, you probably had your little tuning fork
Oh,
out.
Corn Cob, you have to give him a pass because the whole conversation went over his head.
Oh, that's
ooh,
funny.
man.
Yeah, short jokes. Good. Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
Yeah, funny. Now come on, bring the poop eating
Okay,
joke.
so
Let's have a poop
so
eating
we've
joke.
got
no, see, we
So
weren't
we've
going to do that. We'd made a pact about not talking about that today.
so we've got the
That or
satyr
the C
in the
word.
church, Frank. We've got the satyr in the church,
Yep.
and the priests are coming, and
Well,
Action.
I will let you do whatever you want. So you have the satyrs in church, and you've gone over because you don't want to let them out of your sight. The satyr is bound up. You bound them, and you also stripped them of their gear. So I would imagine that the padding that's underneath their armor, still wearing the undergarments that they would have, but their belts, their pouches, their sword, obviously, all gone, or not equipped.
The sword.
And
Is he
If he
gagged?
turns out to be nice, and you have to give it back.
well, you gagged him. Yes, that was part
Okay,
of
yeah.
what
I
you.
was going to say, I don't know much about satyrs, but if they can speak magic things, we're in trouble. If we don't have them gagged up.
So you should be good there, but you're gonna have to ungag him if you want to talk to him.
Well, I'm going to wait till we have some firepower with
Okay.
the
Get some
clerics
priests
there.
in here. Yeah.
You get the Timothy who went with you. Jarek is gone about to handle some other things when he gets back. But Timothy and the head priest here have
So Patrick,
come out. Yes, Patrick.
Timmy.
And they've decided to just do this in the middle. They've closed down the temple. This is kind of important to them since they have a big event riding on this. And they want to do it in front of the major places. And that's, I don't know. I don't know if that's unusual or not, but that's how they're going to conduct business. So they've pulled them into the middle. That's your backup. So it's you, all of you, the satyr, and these two clerics. One, you know, is pretty much out of spells because Timothy used them all to heal you. The other one has been here all day and is the head cleric, so probably has some bit of ability and is fairly rested.
I'd like to move between the satyr and the door as this questioning is going on, or a door.
Okay.
Doesn't matter to me which one. I just want to be between him. I can be close enough to see him and stuff. I just don't want him to bolt.
Okay. You are.
Or I want to have a chance to trip him
Have the
if he
priest
does.
removed his gag?
They are just about to, under your direction.
Then let's remove his gag, and I'll ask him in Sylvan. Do you speak common?
I do speak common.
Then let's continue this conversation in common.
He sort of narrows his eyes at you a little bit. Make a persuasion check, Pugil.
Uh, 23.
Ooh.
As you wish. I will respond in common. And he just kind of
Well,
stares at you all. He's not offering anything up.
Uh-oh.
Haha, I put it all on you. Yeah.
Okay.
done my
So
bit. He's talking to the whole party. So.
We
put
should
the spell
recap probably for the.
at dais.
Well, no, everybody was here, right? Timothy was there, so.
Yeah, Timothy was here.
But Patrick wasn't,
Patrick was
so we
not.
should recap with Patrick real quick what we thought happened.
Okay. I can easily just say that you've recapped it with him. That's good enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to put the
Okay.
ball in Patrick's court here because he's the authority.
You want
We're
Patrick
just
to-
the
Okay.
hitman.
So you really want to observe. You don't want to lead this. Okay.
Well,
that's not a
while
problem.
he was getting the recap, I want to watch the satyr and see if there was any particular part of the story that he responded to.
Do you talk glowingly about his initial maneuver and attack on Pugil, or is it really boring? That would be my question to you when you relay that information.
Well, as we're working and we want to make it look like we're working pretty hard, I'm sure we'd make the fight sound like quite an
Yeah,
encounter.
we want to be a little heroic, but not over the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
He puffs up. He's quite happy with his portrayal. It's almost like he's acting a little bit like this was a fun game. And when you talk about how difficult it was and how challenging, how he just almost teleported from one area to the other to run people through with a blade, he's quite pleased with his accomplishments.
You could probably pick up Spider Cam and just show me.
The
But he
rest-
doesn't have any response to like the spell being on the
Oh, that works too.
platform or any of that stuff.
Make an insight check.
I'd also like to know what his attitude is when we go over what happened to the tree.
Alas, I rolled only 5, so I don't think I'm feeling super insightful.
Okay. Saw everyone else or many other people rolling. Who else was trying to really pay attention to this? Was this you?
I want
Joel?
to pay attention about the tree.
Okay.
I'm thinking about chicken. I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I got.
God, there were some chickens outside when you came in. They look perfectly tasty.
That's what I was thinking about.
You, Joel, rolls a
Chicken.
1 as well?
I got
Nope,
an 11.
No?
No,
Or
he
what'd you
rolled
want?
a 21.
A 21.
A
Okay.
natural 20.
All right. And 11 for corn
Usual's
cob.
good with people.
You, Joel.
Imagine that.
I am a nature boy.
So this satyr is he doesn't they don't seem to respond much in a negative light about the spell. There's almost like, yeah, that was the rules of the game. They do, though, just to play into a little bit of what Corncob was looking for. You do notice that they feel a little remorseful over you all destroying the tree.
They being the satyr,
Yeah, they being
not
the
the
satyr.
clerics.
They attacked us with said tree.
Well,
Yes.
that doesn't
Hopefully the
mean
clerics aren't mad about it. They aren't mad that we destroyed their town's special place.
the clerics think that a animate walking tree attacking you is fair game.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
only the satyr that's being judgmental about it.
Probably would have shut down the whole concert venue tomorrow.
Probably.
I want
People
to ask
fleeing
the
for their
satyr,
lives.
Was this clever jape your idea, or did someone cleverer than you come up with it?
Ooh. Make an intimidation check.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, right.
Threatened to bite his knees.
Well, this is sort of it's sort of a bullying approach where it's who's cleverer than you there, little setter dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's no idle threat from Pujol.
Yeah, whatever. I rolled a 10.
A 10. Okay.
He's chewed up some tough stuff.
I'm not looking too intimidating. I'll shout it at his kneecap.
You know, the satyr leans in and goes, "It wasn't my idea. No, I was there to see it carried out."
And I will respond and say, I would have expected a cleverer idea from someone like you. Who was responsible for this inferior idea?
Ooh, that's a persuasion check.
Listen to him grease him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've rolled another
Pujol's
10.
good at grease.
I don't even know how that's possible with your persuasion, but okay. He goes, well, I think that's unfair to tell you such things. But well, I would never be. I wouldn't put. I think that you have a point. It wasn't well executed. Well designed.
I would say, may I interrupt you, that as the winners of the contest, we are owed a certain amount of deference, even though your performance was impeccable. The flawed plan, which is no fault of yours, is to blame. And we're interested in knowing who's responsible for that flawed plan that is now subjecting you to this indignity.
Pujol from Gnomish Cable
Pujol.
News.
Yes.
I think you're right. And I must say, that is a lovely harp.
Why, thank you.
I think that perhaps we could come to an agreement, such as I give you a name and you let me go.
Greasy going both ways.
I like this agreement idea, provided, of course, that the name you divulge is the true name and not some cunning addition to this flawed plan that you've been victim of.
Oh, I see you're thinking with your noggin. Yeah, I will.
I'm small,
Absolutely.
but I have a brain in my tiny head.
I will give you a real name. The name of the orchestrator. And if that will satisfy your needs, then you will let me go? He doesn't necessarily look at you solely in that question. He does look over to
It may
Timothy
not
and
be
Patrick
up to us completely. We were working as functionaries as well. We could put in a good word on your behalf.
What does Patrick have to say?
So he looks at
I got a good persuasion. I can say we can give him a good word on his behalf if you want.
Yeah, you go ahead, make a persuasion check, and Patrick is also weigh in a little bit.
16.
Okay, Rhonda, what was that you were gonna?
Well, I think one question that I assume Patrick would want to know too is where would he go if he was let go? Back to the city center or somewhere far from here?
He goes, I will go back to the Feywild, where I'm from. I know a good druid in the area that may be able to help you with your tree. Would that help you out, Sir Patrick?
And we have his guarantee that their guarantee that they won't cause any more trouble.
So you ask that, Gooseneck?
Yeah.
I don't think they're lawful creatures.
He says, for what fun is this realm if I don't get to come into it here and there occasionally? What is trouble? I get blamed for trouble in so many things.
Say 100 years. That's no time.
You treat me like a fiend.
Well, you got the hoofs for it.
Oh, ooh, smack.
50 years. No trouble. In this area.
50 years.
You can go do trouble somewhere else.
Done.
Is Patrick saying anything about any of this?
So Patrick is watching. He's also cast a spell, and he's observing very closely what everybody's saying.
Hopefully he didn't cast it on me.
I did have one other question. Is a name going to be enough information to find this person?
Who are you asking that?
I'm asking the satyr.
Ooh, okay. Well, a name by itself is not incredibly useful. You tell me your name and you go off somewhere, where would I find you? How would I find you?
Well, you were going to give us a name of the guy or the person or the entity that was responsible for the plan. Is that different than the name of the druid you were going to point us to help us with the tree?
Good point, Sir Dwarf. I'm going to give you two names. One to help with the tree and one responsible for the plan.
Two names? Well, then you can only be banished for 100 years because we were at 50. So if you double that for the two names, I'd say 100 years.
That's an absurd way to do this math. It should be 25 years if that's the case.
Yeah, maybe.
I will give you two names. I promise not to bother this little mud town for 50 years.
Patrick?
What do you think, Patrick?
Patrick,
it's your town.
Looks at you.
We're transients.
He is telling the truth. And I have asked a friend to visit us for a little extra information. I think a name might be all we have, except perhaps if there was a physical item that you exchanged with this named person. I'd like that as well. So that's what
The
Patrick is
teleportation
asking for.
thing?
He's looking for a physical item. You can make an Arcana check if you want to know why. The satyr nods, agrees.
Yeah, 15.
Okay. You think that they could probably, that would help for a divination thing. So Patrick seems okay with it as long as he gets the two names and the an item that transferred between them. So it's
Or
up
even
to you.
just a coin or something would work.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
How about you, Pujol?
Yeah.
As an aside, nobody's made mention of returning his property when he departs.
No, that wasn't part of the deal.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it was explicitly left out of the deal.
If he lost the game, he'll forget his prizes, I guess.
I guess so.
What do you
That's
think,
right.
Kay? This might be more up your alley.
Sounds fine to me so far.
Okay.
So contractually, it seems all right.
He tells you that Felorian is the druid that could be contacted. He's very good with trees and plants and would be willing to help a muddy, disgusting town like this. And then...
Or he might not be happy.
well, maybe not, but... And then the name of the mastermind behind the plan, he gives over a pouch to Patrick, and he looks at Patrick and says, it's Sestebian.
Estevian?
Sestebian.
Can you spell that?
Esteban.
Or did you go to elementary school?
I don't
So
know
you
that the
spell it?
satyr would do much to spell it right, but I'll spell it for you. It's Sustebian.
Did that name seem familiar to Patrick or Timothy?
Patrick, actually, it's not familiar to, nor is it familiar to Timothy, but they're okay with a deal.
Is that is that a human type person?
No, it's not. It's a fiend.
Oh, so you're familiar with fiends, which is why you knew how we were treating you.
Not such a bad chap, but
No, fiends always are, they could be just great people.
they're never great people, but sometimes they're right at home in these towns like this.
I don't like any of this.
I think I'll be going now.
Kill him.
He holds out his hands to be untied.
That's
And
going to be
Timothy's
up
cool
to
with
either Pujol or Patrick.
So Patrick kind of
All the
leans,
time.
he nods
Oh, okay.
at you all. I mean, you've kind of, Patrick has overseen this and made sure that the question direction has gone appropriately and nothing bad has taken place, but he's letting you actually handle, touch, physically interact with this.
All in
person.
time.
Okay. So Gooseneck, you untie him, and so he says, "It's been a pleasure. Good luck, and goodbye." And he steps back, and you kind of watch the wood of the. So I guess the my mind just failed. Sorry. Where the clerics are talking, he just sort of steps back into it, and the wood absorbs him up and disappears.
I'm going to say out loud, that is definitely an inferior exit to the rose petal exit.
Yeah, we kind of miss the rose petals.
It had flair.
The rose petals were
Just
better.
fading into a wood. What is that?
That's weak.
That's
Yeah.
The
amateurish.
Russian judges give it a 7.7.
Yeah. No. That's first act material, not third act material.
Exactly.
Oh.
Weak.
Oh man.
Ouch.
No kidding. Such harsh. So Patrick says, good. Well, I don't know the name, but if you could interact, I have a dear friend coming in. I'm able to pull them away for just a short period of time. They're very involved in their studies. They've agreed to visit. They should be arriving anytime. Would you be willing to interact with them, answer their questions, and the very knowledgeable wizard?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
Why not? We've come this far.
We're going to help him, or he's going to help us. We're going to help each other track down this Sistebian.
Amongst other things, I actually called them when you first mentioned the fall. They are an expert, really.
Oh.
Study them. So I put word out immediately because I know very little of them, other than they're
Interesting.
up to no good. So I assume if anyone should know the names associated with these deeds, it would be them.
Now, would we know the Fall, to our knowledge, is just a mundane organization? They wouldn't have any links with fiends, to our knowledge, would they?
Well, they're trying to bring down the downfall of civilization, so pretty sure they'd be just fine with fiends.
I believe the
Okay.
fall would
They also-
employ any they could.
Oh, okay.
Including a satyr and a
Probably
giant
should've
animated tree,
Questioned
or
the
two, or
the little-
three.
goat-legged.
Well, Liana,
All right, we'll bring on
be
your
here.
wizard.
You could probably get a small rest in our quarters if you wished to before they
Yes.
arrived.
Yes.
Okay,
That would
so
be
That
handy.
would be great.
short rest. Everyone, it's an hour rest. So anything you get back in a short rest, not hit points. Most of you won't get spell slots back, but some of you will.
Well, we'll still need to sleep tonight, but
Yes.
the rest isn't bad.
No, a little bit of a rest. And if anybody you're lower in hit points, you can expend some hit dice to get those back.
Well, we got clerics all
I'm only
around
down-
us. They maybe owe us a hit point or two.
Well, yes, but at this point, other than Patrick, they're pretty much tapped out. And Patrick seems to be a very band-aid sort of, unless your arm's fallen off, he's reserving all of their power for something bigger. That's the impression.
Well, of
Patrick always
course.
gives.
There's still some crap happening tomorrow, I think.
All right, so put in your short rest, and then we'll.
So maybe those that need to regenerate can continue to rest while we meet with the wizard. I don't know. Just
You could
throwing that
split-
out there.
Could split a long.
How do I
rest,
know if I
but
get any spell slots back?
You do not as a cleric.
Okay, I didn't think I did. But since I'm sleeping in a church, I thought,
Ah,
You feel
church bonus.
kind of super sleep or gulp the holy water or something,
you feel really good about
It's
it.
down. Do some shots.
Okay. So after that bit of rest, Patrick kind of comes back in and goes up. Liana has arrived. They're in a room at the moment. If you wish to go talk to them now, if you're up to it, and it's been more like an hour and a half. So you've had your rest, and some of you might be chomping at the bit to go speak or do something, and others of you are probably wishing you had a little bit of a longer rest. But
Well, I want to get this. Yeah, I want to get to the
Let's
real
talk to the
sleep.
wizard.
Okay. To the wizard. So Patrick leads you down into the room. So all 6 of you would go for the wizard dialogue. You're welcome. You're welcome
Sure.
to.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, when you walk in, you see that you see a dragonborn, partly eccentric, maybe looking just a little bit, and they're kind of brushing themselves off, organizing a little bit of a book. They're just sending Timothy out. They've given them a book to go and say, read it from chapter 5 on. And she looks at you when you come in and say, oh, so these will help us then. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Liana. And who are all of you?
I'll
I am the
introduce myself.
mighty and indomitable Pujol, and these are my pals.
I'm Corncob,
I am the more
Thunderbludgeon,
mighty,
and these are my pals.
totally abominable. And these are all my pals except for the little one.
I'm Fathom. It remains to be seen if these are my pals.
Wow.
They're my gang.
Grain of salt.
All right.
Wow.
No, we
Cheesy.
know where
Grain
that
of
goes.
salt.
We get it. We get it.
Okay. She looks around and goes, well, Patrick, it's wonderful to see you, friend. But if I'm to discuss, then let's discuss here. I can only be gone from my studies for a couple hours at most. I'm working on something, but I've brought some things that could help, especially with the information you've given me, and about your friends here. And so she kind of waves her hand across you while she's talking to Patrick, and he looks. You can tell, Kay. You can tell, especially that he looks a little bit shy. Like, oh well, I guess they know now that I told her about them, and then goes, okay, I'll leave you to it, and he walks out. And so Liana looks at you all and says, so come to town and you met somebody. Excuse me if I get right into it, but the information I've been told so far when I made my preparations to come down here is that you met some representatives of the Fall, and they've got plans in Vin. What else has
They were coming
transpired?
to the dock.
We made the assumption that they were representatives of the Fall, I believe, by their tattoos. They didn't admit to such.
Ah, well, that's expected and a fair assumption, I think.
And we brought the news to Patrick, and he asked us to investigate and make sure that the area for the festival was okay. And we went down and ran across this satyr and had a little battle with him.
This is new to me. I didn't know that when I made my plans, but that's okay. And you've talked to this satyr. Are they still about?
No.
Who knows? They said they left for 25 years or 50 years.
But we did learn that he was prompted to this ambush by a fiend named Sustebian.
Oh,
It was a trap for, we assume, the leaders of the church.
Yeah, we explained the mechanism as it seemed like the podium was a booby trap that completed a spell that animated the ancient tree to be a
Trees.
hostile tree booger or whatever it was.
oh. What a shame that was. Well, I can understand.
I don't feel like that's the extent of the threat.
No. Sustebian, I'm
Well-
familiar with the name. That
Oh.
is Uh, it's a demon, a greater demon at that.
Ooh, that's
Oh, good.
Well, there was also the incubus. Is she familiar with that part of it? Did Patrick
Patrick
inform her of
was
that?
able to give me a small update that there was an incubus that you caught in the temple here, and was summoning
and that big demon thing.
a demon.
Yeah. We've been knee deep in brimstone since we got here.
Yeah. And it's not all Fathom.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all
Although,
about
No, Fathom's
lack of-
nothing compared to these guys.
Yeah.
her lack of friendship commitment worries us, though.
Yeah.
That was just
And
a
the
joke.
smell. That sulfur
That's just an
smell
offhand,
is
though.
awkward too.
I'm
So-
spores, not brimstone.
So they're familiar with the incubus, the summoning, the hog demon, and we've apprised them of the satyr and
Yes.
the animated giant tree and the two smaller trees. It's like nonstop.
I know.
Does this
I know.
action happen all the time around here?
I'm afraid
Been
it
busy.
doesn't. And here I was prepared for a slightly different conversation with you all, but I guess.
What was
we
the
will-
conversation you were prepared with?
Well, my understanding was that you were going to be setting out to sea on the Silver Swan as soon as you could.
Well, we thought
Well,
that too, but
Yeah.
We're still waiting
But-
for We're still waiting for the
That's what
Silver
we came to
Swan.
town
know.
to do.
Yeah. That was
hung
our
around
plan
and got
until
embroiled in all this stuff, and frankly,
Yeah.
now we're going with it.
hell has
Something
quite
about a
literally
shipping
broken
container,
loose.
customs, and a lot of those things
Well,
seem
this
to have
is
delayed it.
interesting. Perhaps you can resolve the local issues quickly, and then we can move on with the other information. So, well, which would you like to hear first from me? I'll give you the question of order. Hugo.
Did Patrick disclose to you the pouch that he got from the satyr?
Yes. He handed
What
it to
was
me
in
here
that?
and reaches and says, well, this is empty. But it is a pouch that, if it truly transpired or passed hands
Oh,
from,
It is an item.
from
so-
Sestabian to the satyr, then I can locate Sestabian, assuming they're on this plane.
Ah, there's a catch.
We also had. He gave us the name of a druid named Thorian to point us to with questions about the tree. I don't know if you're familiar with Thorian. I'm not sure Thorian's going to be happy if Thorian was some kind of glade protector or something, and we chopped down his favorite tree.
I'm not familiar so much with the natural environment around. My study is.
Yeah, it turns out I'm not either.
So kind of relaxes a little bit. She says, well, how about we sit down? There are some chairs along the walls in here that are not visible here because they take up miniature space. But they're kind of church pewish, sort of hard chairs. But you do notice as she steps back to sit down on one that there is a magic circle on the ground, and it does look permanently engraved into the ground here. Not this,
Is
some
she
sort
in the middle of the
circle.
magic circle?
She was, yeah. She stepped out of it to go sit on a
So
chair.
this is how she pops around, maybe?
Those of you who know a little bit about Arcana, which is plenty, knowing a little bit is plenty. In this case, it's some sort of teleportation circle that you can arrive at if you know how to get there. So she sits down and she says, well, let's handle this Sestabian thing first, and then let's talk about the Silver Swan since it's impending. It should be here within the day or two.
Well, we also have the fall, and it's kind of hard to separate in terms of timeline.
But I have
the fall and Sestabian, and this lecture going on tomorrow, and it just seems to be intertwined. The Silver Swan we'd like to know more about, but before we get to the Silver Swan, I'm worried about this possible conflagration that we're involved in.
Oh, and I do not disagree. However, the Silver Swan is embroiled in the fall as well.
Oh, see, I thought we were just going to get on it and sail away and not have to worry about it.
Oh, we wish for such things, but I'm afraid that we will have to have a chat. It was very exciting to come down here to speak of it with you because it's a vision, a way I have to communicate that I haven't had in the past, some extra studies, if you will. But I do understand the immediate needs. I will definitely speak to you of them. But let's take care of Sestabian.
Let's talk about Sestabian.
Let's get on Susu
Okay,
Sestabian.
wait. May I interrupt for a moment? Can we out of game refresh me on why the party is connecting with the Silver Swan?
The Silver Swan in particular, well, I don't know. I'll let you answer it. You all answer it first before I do any input.
Well, because we have a pirate ship we want to show off.
When we were in the town where some giant fish had swallowed someone and we helped rescue them, there was a person there who said, my sister has this ship, the Silver Swan. If you do want to take a sea voyage, you can sign on with her. Well, I thought it was a sister. Maybe it's a cousin. I don't remember now.
It was a sister. It was the sister of the person that we rescued.
So we all said sea voyage. Of course, we want to go on a sea voyage. We all did. Every one of us.
Abram has this strange desire to climb up to the crow's nest. I'm not sure
I've got my navigator's tools. Got to use.
Well, there you go.
Yes. So you're all well aware the woman you saved, her sister is Maloris, captain of the Silver Swan, and you were heading to the shore, and the person you saved said, I will send a message and put in a good word for you. And I'm sure Maloris will be happy since you saved me. So that was your obsession with that particular ship.
Where was the Silver Swan headed?
So it's a cartography
Or are we
ship.
just saying, go for it, just flip the spinner, let's go somewhere?
It is a cartography ship. It goes out and maps new areas, explores them, comes back, doesn't necessarily, it doesn't establish anything. It's not a trade ship. It's not moving people. It's just an exploration
expeditionary thing.
Yep. So
Sounded like a good place for us.
Yeah.
Although if it's also in the fall, maybe it doesn't sound like a good place.
No, it sounds less safe every minute.
Yeah, perhaps we should have checked some references or something.
Well, we're not committed. We'd always stay here where demons just pop up every other day.
You also don't know all the information yet, but you'll find out soon enough.
Well, we're still interested.
Okay, so does that help you, Bobby, at a game?
Yes, it does.
Why this session with the ship? Okay, it's not just because we want to show off a pirate ship.
Now the woman we rescued from
the
the
DM
catfish
mentioned the
didn't have
ship's
any...
name, so we thought, we should go.
The one you rescued, that's a different one.
She did not have any weird tattoos.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so Liana says, Sestabian, yes, so I can use this to try to divine their location, and it will take me a little bit of time. I've got the time to spare, perhaps, and
can you tell us about Sestabian, since you've heard the name?
Yes, I can. You might not like what you hear, however, but that's a large greater demon, controller of a small army, from my understanding. Interests.
How small?
Oh, a few hundred demons.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy.
Just a few hundred demons. No
Cool.
problem.
Aberrant can do that just by himself as a side quest.
Let's kill him.
But you know, their goal has always been, a chaotic one. From everything that I've known about the name, I would not understand immediately what their connection to the fall is, other than if they want to destabilize something, an area perhaps, if they want to put somebody in power, maybe.
Do you feel that perhaps who do you feel is the superior in that relationship? Is the fall driving the demon army? Is the demon army driving the fall? If there's such a close relationship.
I could not imagine either thinking that they don't have the upper hand.
Okay. Who do you think has the upper hand?
You may be surprised that I believe it is probably the fall.
I'm not surprised at all.
Why
That doesn't make me happy, but I'm not surprised.
Why wouldn't Sidian, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, I apologize, just come and cause trouble with his small army instead of setting up this complicated thing with the satyr?
Chaos.
That was just a diversion.
Chaos. If let's say, and I'm just thinking out loud here, perhaps let's say this town of Venn is controlled by a ruling council that would take no interest in this speaking of Apara. Then all of the people who are aligned to do such good deeds as this temple would be down observing, caught in a chaos outbreak. And that would leave all of the other followers perhaps vulnerable to an actual attack.
Yep.
I think this could be a possibility. They are not, as much as they hunger for chaos, they are smart individuals. Sastabian in particular does not show up often, but I've seen their name in a few books, dark rituals that I would not partake in, summon them. But my studies are more in depth than others. I'm surprised that you would have gotten this name from anyone, to be honest.
So, is there anybody that would seem to you to be a bridge between these two groups?
No, well, actually, there is one person. There is a wizard in this town, of high regard in the wizarding circle, but who has different inclinations towards who should be in power. They have a substantial tower in this town. They're up to no good. They'll have been writing a bunch of no good in this town. Getting it prepared in their tower, perhaps even. Melpheus.
Melpheus.
Is there a giant glowing eye above his tower? I'm just checking.
Oh, that's usually a good indicator.
Yeah.
It's good corn cob.
Maybe he figured out how to be subtle. Although apparently not if he's got this reputation.
Melpheus. That sounds like an elf.
Milk toast.
It does. Actually, the bard might, well, I don't have a very good arcana. Who has a good Arcana?
So
Or
I'm
whoever.
not bad at that. Can I roll to see if I might know who
Has
it
anybody
is?
heard of on our side heard of this person?
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check to see if you have.
Oh, hold on, I'm using my die. 22.
Yes, known for summoning, especially for being actually quite keen at summoning different types of creatures and binding them to his will. It's a little, it's not really known as a good person necessarily, but not a bad person, but also a completely unempathetic individual.
What class would that be? Is he a wizard or a sorcerer or
A wizard. You're
He's a
looking at
wizard.
classes, yeah.
And what race? Is he
Melfius
human?
is a human.
Oh, what a disappointment! He sounds like an elf.
Oh. Seems like an attack, but I'm gonna blow it off.
You could check at their tower.
How old is he?
Quite aged for a human, nearly 60, I believe.
Wow,
Oh yeah, that's ancient.
that's old and
That's
withered.
super old. Super old.
Yeah,
We're
he should just stop
freaking old.
summoning things and go sit in the corner and read a
I
book or
know.
something.
That's right.
Yeah.
It might be time to send
Goes-
Melfius to a home.
Yeah, I goes put him in the pantry. Yeah.
Is he fireproof?
Ooh, that was a
Pretty
good
good.
one.
That was a
Direct
good one.
You sank
It'd
my
take a while to
heart
heal
gnome.
from that.
Oh.
Those are hit points a spell can't heal.
Now you realize I'm
that's
trying
funny.
to speak in a less medically civilized world. I'm establishing
Sure.
some age here that maybe we're not all
Yeah.
comfortable with.
No. Aw.
Also, the Dragonborn might just be a little bit unaware. So, but yeah, yes, Melfius has a tower here. You could approach it, but it would be well guarded if he doesn't answer.
I was going to ask if he had guards or if he has a group of, I guess in my profession we call them acolytes. I don't know what you'd call.
No, he's a wizard, though, my friend, and he
Right,
will,
but what do you
have
call
tricks
wizards?
and traps, but not
Apprentices.
people.
Apprentices?
He doesn't.
Yeah, I was
like
going to call them lick
apprentices.
spittles, but whatever.
He doesn't take.
Could the
them.
priest,
If we
if the
go,
priest
what are we going to
summoned him,
do?
would he have to come?
Yeah, let's
As the
bring this thing
official-
with us.
People of this town, officials, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
They could ask for a document to allow you entrance, but yes, as our friend in the back, what would you do when you go there?
Give him a
Hopefully
stern
roll for
talking
initiative.
to.
So
I say we
your
draft a letter,
position
establish a
is that
commission.
you probably summoned the demon and arranged all of this. Like, how would we prove that? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Well,
have-
what I'm saying is I don't know if it's the wisest thing ever to walk into a wizard's tower and start the conversation with some form of, "Hey, were you involved in starting all of this trouble down in town?" I don't see how that ends well for us.
That's why I
I'm
wondered
wondering
if we could
priests
pick
could
off a
get me
henchman or
here.
something, some hireling or someone that might know a little bit more of a lower level.
We also don't have
Put some money on the street,
I mean, apart from Miss Liana's supposition, which may be grounded in very very good knowledge and experience, but even so, I don't know if we want to go around accusing people of trying to sabotage church events based on just that. That also seems unwise.
I agree. I think we need this information to be prepared for tomorrow, but I don't know if we want to go confront the wizard in the tower. I think you're dead on with that.
You mean we need facts in order before we storm an official building?
I don't know that we need to storm the building. I think we need to be prepared for what could happen tomorrow.
Well, that is a good question for her. Does she think that we've probably foiled the plan, or there's likely additional disruptions that would go in motion?
I feel like you have likely foiled this initial plan, but there are perhaps backups and other disruptions even as we speak.
What do you see as your part in this?
I'm just informing you some information. I do have an interest in the fall and gathering information about them, and a particular interest in your voyage, should you take part in it, and especially as Patrick has outlined it to me. But I'm willing to help you in this, especially if it will help me convince you to help me in your journeys later.
Okay, that sounds kind of all right.
So she came through a teleporting circle to get here.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
And can she utilize that teleport spell to get us into the tower potentially? To maybe teleport a spy in there?
So she says, I could maybe on other circumstances, but I am in the middle of critical buildings of some magical items, and I cannot leave them attended for long, and I need all of my resources at hand to continue this. So I have only to spare my ability to get here and my ability to get back to where my work is, and I cannot help you with that directly.
Would I be correct in assuming that you would like us to go on the voyage and get information for you from the Silver Swan?
Yes, that is correct. In fact,
so you have an interest in our survival.
I do. A great interest in your survival. And it's fair to say that I am aware of Meloris. She is an upstanding captain. But somewhere on her crew is a plant for the fall.
Uh-huh.
And the line of work that she is in, mapping areas, she will come across areas of interest to the fall. If they're of interest to the fall, they're of interest to me as well. I'd like to prevent them from abusing them. So I have some items to give you to help with that when we're ready to discuss that.
We like items.
Magic ring
when the ship, this is just a technical question, when the ship pulls in to port, I'm sure there's a period of time where they get the ship ready to go out again.
Yes.
What do the crew usually do in this town? Do they hang out at the Mudworm, or
drink to excess, visit the wishing well, and sometimes family, sometimes do nothing but...
How many people are on the crew of the Silver Swan?
Around up to 30, depending on how she wishes to run it for one of their voyages.
And one of them's a plant, but you don't have an idea of who it might be.
I do have some ideas. They will be close to her.
Is Meloris aware of this plant?
Probably a gnome.
Not as a plant. You must understand that the fall is cult-like. It takes over people's ideals and ideologies. So the person themselves, in this case, would be not an evil person, but someone believing that they're helping a good cause.
Were they installed as a plant to start with, or were they converted once they were on a crew?
I'm sure they would have been converted. I believe it's either the first mate or the navigator.
Oh, okay. Well, that narrows it down.
Abran has a question.
Abran.
So, since you have a vested interest in us making it onto the ship, what do you feel is the best path forward with this wizard to help protect the town, to circumvent any future
Well,
issues? What would you suggest?
If, as you say, these people were coming in to view this oration and the chaos was happening here, I don't think that's a coincidence. So I believe then the Fall has an interest in the changing of authorities somehow in this town. I would like for you to see out that at least this one small thing, to see if the authorities don't change. And perhaps you've thwarted it already, but a small check with
Do you
this
think
wizard.
that we should recommend that they change the venue?
Yes.
So
I
that,
do.
okay.
Continuation,
Last
part B to
minute.
my question is, what would you suggest is the best way to approach, since none of us are wizards, the best way to approach finding out additional information on the wizard's plans?
None of you are wizards, and I would recommend carefully scouting it out. See what they're up to.
Right.
So these items you thought could help us, were they more for the Silver Swan or are they for tomorrow?
Or for the Silver Swan. But I could certainly hand them over now. My
I think
time
that'd be
here is
useful.
limited. So
Yeah, we need to get to bed.
Sure, absolutely.
Some of us that actually need to sleep.
I'm very proud of this. And she pulls out a bag and she kind of dumps it into her hand, and you see just a bunch of, I don't know, like a bone, a rock, a piece of glass, like just, it looks like junk mostly, including a symbol that doesn't necessarily look, it's like a couple of symbols of gods, but it's like a bag of just junk. And she says, I am attuned to each one of these items. I assume that when you're exploring, that this person on Maloris's crew will also be looking for these explored items and places. So this will help me tune into the area. If you leave one of these items, whatever is most appropriate for where you are, or whatever interesting sites you find, then I can find it.
Oh, they're breadcrumbs.
Exactly, like breadcrumbs. And there's plenty here. A cartography ship will meet many areas, and I assume not all of them will be interesting in regard to this, but some will. I have another item. Now, it does rely, and she pulls out this sort of bound book in leather. It looks like soft leather. It relies on someone who would not look out of place, taking notes, a journal perhaps, someone who might be interested in doing such things. And
we have someone that likes to do maps and take notes, I believe.
Well, this is written.
Actually, we have a couple amongst our ranks. It wouldn't be me because I can barely make an X when I write my name.
Well, whoever would like to. You see, you can write in here, and there's some code that can be used as well. It goes well as a diary of sorts, perhaps. And this could help to inform me of any extra information. Do I have someone amongst you?
So you get what someone with us would write on the page, and you would get the news?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
it's one of my
that's
greatest,
really cool.
one of my greatest inventions, in fact. Oh,
that's a wonderful invention.
Assuming that I can finish the project I'm currently involved in. But I would have to attune it to whoever I'm giving it to, and teach them how to write a couple runes in here that would help with this.
I say Pujol or K or
Kay currently keeps a journal.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. Keeps a
Hey, it's
journal.
the turtle.
Okay.
My tiny Billy Barty fingers have a hard time
Right.
with pencils.
Okay. So
Yeah,
she hands
but I know
it
you've
to
made
you,
maps
Kay.
before. That was the only reason I was thinking. But I
She
think
hands it.
Kay is probably the better choice.
Yeah, she keeps
Okay.
a journal already.
She hands it to Kay. And she says,
Just don't get
"Now,
them confused.
you would
Just
use
get
it
bored reading our
as you would
exploits.
a normal journal. But if you wanted anything, let me demonstrate." And she pulls out a separate journal that looks pretty much just like it. And she says, if you write something here, it just writes normally. However, if you use this rune, and you can see her write it down, and then this marking, and then whatever you write, use this marking and this rune again, and everything you've written here will disappear off the page. And as she does it, you can see it appear over on her page.
No
in the
data
journal.
cap?
Yes. So the magic is visible. No one could protect it if we were to cast some sort of spell to ascertain if this book was magical. However, you would not know the nature of it or the runes. It's behind the binding of the book here, see hidden. So you'll know if someone has seen it. To know what kind of book it is, they'll have to tear your binding off. She hands it to you.
Does it work both ways? You can communicate with us also?
It does. But that might be raise suspicion. So take care if you ask for such communications, because what I
Is
write
this
will then be
solely your
permanent.
invention?
Yes.
Or
as far as I know,
okay, so no one else has one of these that you know of?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Guess it'd sure be handy for that plant on the Silver Swan to have one.
Yes, it would, but I'm sure they'll have to rely on more traditional organic means.
Be interesting to see what they do when we keel haul them.
So, do you have any more questions for her? Because she's looking kind of anxious about needing to leave.
What else you got in your bag?
These are it. These are the things that will help if you leave these areas. If you find something that is dangerous still, or you feel I should know about, use the journal to make me aware of what happened, so I can be prepared if I go to visit it myself.
Huh. That's pretty good. I wish you could use it to send a ring of water breathing.
Is there a compensation tied to this?
Is there compensation?
So far, we haven't done anything or even contracted to do anything. Per diem? Maybe we just work for per diem.
I don't have... You seem to be interested in magical things. How about I'm a creator of magical things. Perhaps I can look for some for you.
Before we leave?
Sounds good to me.
I would love a ring of water breathing.
Before you leave, possibly. I
I'd
might
like
be
a
able to find
magical
an item.
I could use a karaoke mic.
I just like cool stuff.
Mr. Microphone.
Before you go on the trip, I'm sure you'll, even if you're on ship already, I can find you. You have a bag of things that I am familiar with.
You can teleport magic items into that bag.
It doesn't quite work like that.
You don't want to
It's always worth asking.
Have suspicions raised, but if you find out something that is important enough for us to know, please write in the book. Make sure.
We have been talking a lot about the cart. I'm a little worried about the horse tomorrow. I mean,
well,
we're going to go suggest to Patrick that they move the venue, right? And I would say do it last minute. Like let people start lining up to get in, and then say, nope, it's actually over here.
Yep.
And
Good plan.
has the keynote speaker been warned?
I do not know that. I
We'll
would
have to talk
imagine
to
Patrick
Patrick.
is handling that. He would not keep
Yeah,
such
that's
things
going to have to be
secret.
logistics with Patrick, probably.
He would tell them. I'm sure he has.
Okay. Well, you've been most
I
helpful.
like it.
If
We'll let you get back to your magical items, and we'll go get some rest.
Excellent.
Who wants to carry the bag of breadcrumbs?
Good luck. And he kind of waves some hand on the ground. A circle sort of lights up. She hasn't stepped into it, and she's like, "Well, I look forward to reading Kay's journal with great interest." And she plops into it.
We always do.
Just make sure and get the right one.
I say we give Fathom the bag of trinkets. She's the one who's been eaten and devoured less frequently than the rest of us.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
The snail.
You could just
almost
use
got
it to mark. You can use it to mark our graves as we go through.
Yeah.
So you get the bag. It's a lot of little trinkets, but it just you could just find something almost for anywhere. A little bit of stone that would be unobscured. It wouldn't be hard to lay something. Almost anywhere you were, there's something you could put there that's some sort of debris.
Okay.
Okay, so you have the bag of trinkets. You have the trinkets. Kay has Kay's journal. And then I think you have a plan. Patrick is happy
Let's
to
run by Patrick. Tell him about changing the venue. Go home and go to bed.
But
All right,
I have
Make
a
sure the
quick question
keynote
for
speaker's
Abraham.
been warned.
Yes.
You what,
Abraham,
Fathom?
did you check out her abs? I mean, you had to be
I
checking
know,
her out.
right? It's,
No.
it was A plus.
Okay.
abs. So you're actually all going back to the Mudworm, where you're resting for the evening in your rooms and getting up early. I'm guessing in the morning.
Did we get by Patrick?
Yes, you got by Patrick. Patrick
Okay.
Patrick will do all the execute. He's on board with whatever you and Liana talked about. He's very happy.
And will he tell us where the alternate venue is? Does he have that decided already?
Yes, he knows a good place for it. He
Okay.
tells it to you. It's just the Overlook. Happy to hold it.
And what
there.
time?
Same time. They're not going to change the time.
So,
it's late
I wanna-
afternoon.
What was the time to start with?
I want to ask.
Late afternoon is the time. You want
I want to ask
Okay,
Patrick.
so we need to get
does
there
he
in the
know-
morning, late morning.
Does he know the name of this? Does he know this wizard that she was talking about?
Yes, I
he
do.
familiar?
I do
And
know.
and where is his castle or tower in the city?
You might want to check it out in advance, but it's 3, 4. I guess it's 4. I know the man built it deep. It's a small building. It's a large building. Excuse me. But compared to the Redwood Foundation that it's next to, it's
That's a surprise.
rather dwarfed. But it's a square.
Did you just say you knew the
tower.
man who built it?
Well, he built it.
You didn't-
yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's a square tower right next to the Redwood Foundation.
Fairly
This is-
close. Yes.
This is Melpheus's tower?
Yes.
What's your
Totally
Melpheus
not.
What's your
lives right next
perception
to
of
the
Melpheus?
Redwood.
Near it. Yes. Not on the premises though. The Redwood Foundation owns quite a bit of land. He thought it was
What's your impression of Melpheus?
eccentric, quiet. I don't see him much. He also.
What's his association with the foundation?
I don't know that he deals with them very much, to be honest.
At least not above ground.
Do you consider him
Yeah.
a law-abiding member of your town?
Well, he's a bit of a wild card, but he hasn't broken any major laws. He does have a little bit of disregard for making noises and working sometimes around his tower. I don't engage with him very much.
Abran would
Are
like
his
to know if he'll
employees
be
mostly
missed.
young?
Yes. Would he be missed if he came up missing?
If he came up missing, well, he often isn't viewed for months at a time. He has deep studies.
Oh, okay. Well, that's,
but he does
You
do
know-
business. Wagons and carts are delivered of goods and supplies to his manor or to his tower.
I
And
just
do you
don't wanna
know,
go
does
to
he
the
have any
tower.
compatriots that you're aware of? Any
No,
close?
he's a quiet, silent. Well, he's a silent person that talks very little.
So there's no one in town he like plays chess with or something.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay.
Sometimes
All
he has
right.
been asked by the council to do a favor for them. That's how I know him.
What kind of favors?
Well, he can
Like keeping
he
his
can-
hedges trimmed, or more significant than that?
More significant than that. He's constructed some of the walls with magic in a couple of areas where they've gotten destroyed. He's also quite good at defending. Once we had a small issue with some marine creatures attacking. He was quite useful and helped the town destroying them.
Okay, what walls did he rebuild with magic?
Some are getting old near the entrance and also up near the cliffs. And he just pulled the stone from the earth. I'm familiar with that ability, though I can't do it myself.
And is the venue anywhere near these walls?
No, not at all.
Okay, the new venue.
No.
So he's not built any of your seawalls or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So
I don't
you
have any
guys,
more questions.
are you all
Anybody
going to
else?
go check out Melpheus's place after your rest?
Yes.
Before the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let's rest
Well,
as quick
it's
as we
walk
can.
by, not
Okay.
like trying to get in there, right?
Yep. Yep.
Maybe.
We need Abran to get some kind of scout cookies and go up and knock on his door, see if he wants to buy some scout cookies.
Yeah,
Or we
Abram
can
is
pose
clearly
as-
not going to be happy until he murders a wizard today. So
Right. Right.
Or we can pose as
I'm-
delivery drivers.
I'm really, I mean, if this guy, I don't know. I'm a little intimidated by just taking him out, but if you think that's what we
So.
need to aim for.
You
no,
take your-
I don't think so at all. I just think that we won't hear the end
I
of
think
it.
I'd
from
rather
Abram
treat the
until we do.
symptoms.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
I think I'd
take a
rather
rest
cope with the
and then-
symptoms at this point.
and then
Okay.
figure
I'm
this
just
out.
wizard curious.
So,
Just wizard curious.
rest is easy. You get a nice, simple, easy, long
Full-
rest. You all get.
Long rest.
That's good. And then you go swinging by after a nice breakfast that's included with your bungalow price at the Mudworm. You get a wonderful little breakfast meal, and then you swing by the entrance. I'm sorry, I need to make sure you know that this is barred.
Damn gate
Um,
closed.
This is the entrance to this Melpheus's square tower. And
I don't know if we would have passed already, but I'm actually as interested in the Redwood Foundation land
Okay.
and whether it looks like they're. I mean, we're not going to be able to find it from here, but I suspect there's a secret connection, like there's tunnels or something.
Yeah, I would think
So-
underground, especially.
If there's a likely place to look for that on their land, that is probably
Well,
not.
we
walled
have a
in.
dwarf and someone that spent time among dwarfs.
Yeah.
That's where tunnels usually
What
are,
the
is
hell?
underground.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's most
so
of the time. That's been-
when
Yeah.
you
What about the
Above
air
ground
tunnel?
tunnels.
Come on, Peugeot.
Yeah.
So when you walk by the Redwood Foundation, it is a bit of a walk. The front wall, it's almost like a city wall.
So it's walled also.
It is stone
That is
walled. It has a gatehouse. Actually, it doesn't have a traditional gatehouse. It has two fairly decent towers. And then right out of that, they have a courtyard. And in that courtyard, you see like exercise, like people exercising, and someone leading them along with exercises. Behind that, you see long houses with many, many windows. They're laid out like common housing, which you would expect. And then for someone who's taking in a bunch of orphans and stuff like that, you would expect to see that.
So yeah, so
But
this
the
is
total
what
time
we'd
past
expect from an
this-
orphanage.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of a mile almost, the front wall of this compound.
But there will
Broad
be no
question: how would
casual
this?
walking
Oh,
around
go
it,
ahead.
I guess.
So how would you walk around it? Is that what you asked, Fathom?
No, there's no. We couldn't like casually. It's not like a park.
No, it's
Yard.
not like no.
All right, so that's not going to help. Is the whole thing enclosed, or are they up against the city wall? Either of these things.
So Redwood Foundation. So actually, that tower is not enclosed at all. It's like it's just plopped down on a city block, basically, if you were to call it that. Across from one of the ends of the Redwood Foundation, you cross though quite a few shops right across from the Redwood Foundation, like a blacksmith, bookkeepers, just a bunch of little shops down the road, and then right across from it was this massive wall that was. So it may be a coincidence that this tower is next to it. However,
Sure.
Where are we at in? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to know where we're at in relation to the sewer complex that we've been in before.
We're above
it.
Well, sure, but does it make sense
Usually
that
that's underground.
that there might be a
Usually that's
connection
underground,
to
too.
that?
There would
sewer
definitely be
complex?
definitely be a connection to it of some sort.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
doesn't
poop
look
down
like
there,
the type
right,
of place
Pujol?
that would not have been at least drained into the sewer system. Some of these
Okay.
buildings, some of these shops look a little more affluent than you might
Not effluent,
expect.
but affluent.
Pujol.
Yes.
Go Pujol.
Would we know which building was there first? Was the tower there first, or the Redwood buildings?
The Redwood building was there. The Redwood Foundation wall was built first.
Yeah. Okay. So this Melpheus dude is a stone-shaping, earth-moving guy. He built his tower adjacent to his co-conspirators. Obviously, I think we need to
Yeah,
say
it was
Abram
suppliers.
this clown.
They pick out for the fall.
No, this is
really.
his suppliers.
Yeah, we need to sick Abram on him.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, John. So you
So we need to go to Epstein's castle.
I gotta take a drink. Hold on.
Good.
Mm. Okay, so yes, you go up, and as you're going by, and I'm assuming you're not. Well, I don't know. You tell me how you're approaching it.
We're strolling by.
Casual. We're acting casual.
Acting
Yep.
casual by.
In
Okay.
the sights of the
Yep.
town.
And if anybody asks, we're just maybe looking for a lost dog or writing newspaper articles or something. I don't know what.
Okay. So as you're walking by, there you hear this tremendous sort of crack and explosion from somewhere in the tower. You see a chunk of stone just sort of fly out off the one of the sides towards the road that you're on, and
Squashes some orphans.
yeah, well, it does. Well, it doesn't. It wouldn't necessarily squash
do it.
anybody that you're
He didn't
sure
close
of.
the circle.
You hear this sort of weird sounds taking
Ooh,
place up
big
there
growl.
occasionally,
Mm.
right after the explosion, and roll initiative.
Oh, good.
Someone summoned some bitch in the
Roll
sun.
initiative.
Oh wow! All right. Well, at least I got it out of my system.
Okay, so Hugo.
4.
Gooseneck.
7.
Wow.
Okay, Corncob.
6.
Abran.
I have a 13.
Okay, Fathom.
2, but it
1.
was a natural 1. So I was looking at the blacksmith
You
shop.
fell down.
Or something.
She fell down.
Okay.
Also 4.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So when
Well,
we come back,
Wow.
This might play to our favor.
we're gonna take a break.
Hello.
We're gonna take a break, and when we come back,
And we're all gonna
Dice
we're all gonna
rituals.
cash in our inspiration points and re-roll.
the party will all move after whatever I'm going to do.
Yes.
But it will start with Abram when it happens. So everyone, hang in there. We're gonna see what everybody does with this exploding tower when we come back to it, and we'll be gone like 10 or 15 minutes while we stretch and get something to drink and take an appropriate break. Goodbye, everyone. See you soon.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Come back soon.
Welcome
John
back.
does such a better job than Justin. I'm just saying that now.
The Crow's Nest bus.
Why are you
Yeah.
sucking up to John?
I'm just no. Well, that is true, but I'm also throwing Justin under the bus, especially since he's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Michael butters whatever bread comes his way.
Yeah, no kidding.
So when
mushroom
we
queen.
last left, we talked to
Yeah.
well, you've talked to a cleric and a wizard. You've arranged for a talk, an oration, if you will. I don't know, to move from its location to a different location, thinking it was probably unsafe, and the cleric Patrick agreed with you. And then you've talked to a wizard, Liana, who have given you some items to help along your journey when you get to the ship, the Silver Swan, and told you a little about Melpheus, who is a wizard that summons all kinds of odd things. And you decided to check out Melpheus' tower, his residence, because he might have something to do with the odd things going on. As you were walking by, it exploded. You heard some strange sounds from inside, and you all rolled, I don't know, D6s for initiative, I believe. Something like that.
Yeah. D4s.
Which is it's okay. That's okay. But what that means is a little something's going to happen first on my side of things. And
Good.
I'm just
We have no
directed by
control over
thinking about how bad a wizard Melpheus turns out to be.
Right.
Just bless it and let it go, everybody.
So bursting out of the door that's right in front of you,
Of course.
behind this barred door was a wood door that just shatters out, and ripping out across there is this giant amount of just this air, just tearing through, and I don't know. It just sort of comes right into Corncob's face, wildly flailing about. Corncob, as this thing enters your space, you're getting buffeted around by all the dirt and rubble it's picking up. It tries to lift you off to your feet, almost like a little miniature tornado you're caught in. Make a strength saving throw.
All right. $14.
14. Okay. You were just barely able to hold on to your feet. It was like it was going to, it felt like it was going to lift you off the ground, and then you're just use that stock sturdiness to hunker down, and that felt aerodynamic otter pants for the wind to whip around.
Went right around me.
Yep. And
Bernoulli principle. Did it actually push me to one side? Anyway, go ahead.
it just swirls around you for a moment and moves off sort of right immediately behind you. Abran, it's your turn right after that. You still hear noise up above in the tower, as though this isn't the only thing.
Of course
I'm
not.
shooting it with an arrow to see if that does anything.
Okay.
Maybe it'll whip around and
26.
randomize and hit one of us.
26 to hit with
That-
10 points of damage.
That hits. Is this a magical bow of any kind?
It is a magical bow. Thank you for
It
asking.
is.
Okay.
Yes.
He's Mr. Magic.
Okay, you feel like this thing hits it and does injure it. It tears through it, and you watch it just sort of a little puff of wind come out behind from where it existed before.
I'm going to use my second attack and follow up with another arrow into this giant windbag. And that is a 20 to hit with
Hits.
8 points of damage.
Don't you get Colossus Slayer on that one?
Oh, that's right.
I
And let's
should-
add 4 more. 12 points of damage. Thank you, Chuck.
Okay. So you attack with the bow, and do you move or do you keep your ground where you are over here?
I'm going to back up a little bit to retain bow shot distance.
All right. In that case, Gooseneck, it's your turn.
Wow, I'm next.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So did this thing blow the gate off, or
No, it blew
just?
a door behind it off, but then came through the bars of the gate unimpeded.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw my shield up in the air, say the magic words, and I am going to. Let's try going into a rage.
Okay.
A minute, where's my thing? There we go. And I'm going to move in and zap it with a lightning attack.
All right.
Ooh.
So Dex DC 13.
And get my pizza dungeon dice warmed up here. 15.
Okay, so half damage. Here we go. So you take a point of damage, lightning damage, if you can do that.
Right.
And I would like to try to whack it with my magic axe.
Okay.
Let's see. 12 plus 7, 19.
Yes.
That it? For 7 plus 4, 11 points of damage.
Okay. Very good. All right, Gooseneck. So Pugil. Oh no, I'm sorry, Corncob.
I consider this a creature, don't I?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead with
Okay.
a wisdom saving throw.
3.
15.
I don't think my 3 is
So-
gonna help.
That's 9 points of damage, of necrotic damage. So now it's a rotting wind.
Oh,
Thanks.
Ooh.
Thanks, Corncob.
a foul wind
Hey,
blows.
You use what you brung with.
Joel is mildly excited.
Okay, Corncob, did you want to try to move or stay right here toe to toe with it? I mean,
No, but on my bonus, I have a bonus action. I'm going to cast Shillelagh on my staff.
Okay. All right. Hold that and Shillelagh. Pugil. Speaking of, what are
Yeah,
you going to
Pugil.
do?
I was muted. So Fathom, K, and I are the only three that have not gone, correct?
Correct, and it's going to go UK and then Fathom.
All right, I am going to cast. I'm going to move away, get over there and hide behind Abran,
Oh,
and I am going to. I guess I'll shoot at it with my little crossbow, but I want to give bardic inspiration to Fathom.
okay.
So I'm playing my little harp as I flee, and hip shooting my little crossbow.
All right. Fathom, you have a D8 of Bardic Inspiration.
What can we
That's
use
the
that for?
damage. Say, hey, natural 20.
Double those
Whoa.
dice on damage.
I rolled a 9 for the damage, and is that doubled or I rolled the damage twice?
Roll the damage twice. And now,
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm sorry. It took that into account, so it's 11 total.
okay. Wow, you
Pretty
are
good for a
tearing into
crossbow
it.
bolt.
Yeah.
D and D Beyond
Yeah.
is smarter than I am. The bardic inspiration, you can use it for an ability check, an attack roll, or a savings throw.
Okay.
And you can decide after you roll whether or not you want to use it.
That's
Kay,
very smart.
it is your turn. I will say before Kay goes, Pugil, your movement's like 25. You couldn't quite get behind Abram. You just moved as close as you could to him.
Okay. He's bigger than me, so
Oh.
he's more likely to be a target. No problem. It's good.
Probably.
Yeah,
All right, so Kay, now you're up.
but I can kick him in the way.
So when that thing came out through the doorway and ran into Corncob, did it look like it was just going in a straight line out and Corncob happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or did it actually like change direction to hit him?
What is your passive insight? Assuming you don't want to use your turn trying to puzzle that out.
17.
Okay. Yeah, it looked a little bit like Corncob was in the way, but that said, it also looked like this creature was just is angry and is up for any kind of destruction out of a retaliatory anger. Not necessarily that it's aggressive or that it's attacking, but it's just really mad and flailing around at whatever it can.
So I am going to... I don't think it's likely to keep moving given what's been happening, but I'm still going to move out of kind of its straight line trajectory.
Okay, the Abran side or the other side?
The other side.
Okay.
And I will try shooting an arrow at it.
All right.
Poorly, I got an 8.
An 8. Yeah, it just whooshes by. Your passive perception is very good. You see out of the corner of your eye after this shot a shadow that's come out of the top floor as well. And it's... you just see it. It catches your attention, moved around, and coming... it looks like it's going... I'm going to go on the ground here, but this is very high in the air. It's going back around this way and turning as though it's going to come in from here. It's something that is in the air.
Someone ratted us out.
Incoming!
Okay, you have plenty of time to
I think it was that damn dragonborn.
Fathom, it's your turn. You've heard Kay's warning. You've seen all the things that have been going on. What would you like to do, Fathom?
First, I want to think, do these things look like things that a wizard could summon?
Yes.
Okay. Then I want to try something weird. So everyone moved out of the way. I want to use the wind fan to kind of try to blow this wind back. Wind versus wind.
Ooh,
Oh.
Okay.
It casts gusts of wind. So it says save strength 13, I think. 60
Okay.
feet long
Good.
and 10 feet wide. So I try to avoid all of my compatriots if I can.
Is there a
But-
height?
No,
on
it's
that
a
as well?
super
60
tornado.
feet long, 10 feet wide.
It does not indicate a height, interestingly enough.
Okay.
Because if I can make it higher, I would rather it be higher than longer.
I don't know that you can. So we'll just say it's 10
Yeah,
feet by
that's
10
an odd
feet to be. So you
omission.
wave the fan, the wind, the gust of wind comes out, and how far will that push them back if they fail?
If they fail their save, it's pushed 15 feet away in the direction of the line, and then any creature in the line must spend 2 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves when moving closer
Ooh.
to me.
Okay. So yeah, you push it 15 feet back, and it's blowing down. And
Yeah,
it
I'm
is
trying to give my
wind.
missile friends a better chance.
It is definitely wind against wind. All right. Anything else, Fathom?
At least hers is a fresh wind, not a foul wind.
Yes.
That's true.
I don't think I have any useful bonus actions, so
Okay.
I think I am done.
Abran, this is interesting. Ooh, Abran, you
Yes.
feel biting into your shoulders 2 talons, and you are lifted up off
Oh,
the
no.
ground as something
Herpes.
swoops down
I mean, harpies.
and grabs you. Swoops down, grabs you by the shoulders, lifts you up into the air.
Now you got wings.
When that happens,
Dadgummit, we need a new elf.
We might get one.
this is, whoops,
Yeah.
oops.
You might
Yeah, the
fly up
talons
and have
right
to
on
catch
there.
him.
Ooh, ouch. 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
That it just rakes into you as it flies into the air. And contrary to what this miniature looks like, you are 30 feet in the air.
Wow. Okay.
It just swoops down, grabs you. Right. And then this air elemental thing, angry as all get out. Let's see here.
Was this the dark shape that came out of the...
It was. So Kay saw it
area?
clearly,
Okay.
but... Well, Kay saw the shape clearly.
Okay.
Okay, so then this... let's find out where it goes. It's going to go anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna roll to find out what this air elemental is gonna do. 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, gooseneck.
Hopefully it messes up this...
No, it had a chance of going towards the hippogriff there, but it didn't. It has come right at gooseneck.
Bring it, baby. Strength saving throw?
We're gonna find out if it's got that ability still. It does, yes. Make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Let's see. Wait. Oh, hang on. I get advantage on my strength saving throw.
Oh,
while
that's
I'm in a
right, you
rage.
are raging.
All right. Natural 20.
You can't.
Like a rock.
You hardly even feel it.
Is that
trying to
smell?
lift you off the ground? It does smell a little weird. Bits of sand are just mildly abrasive to your scales as they roll off of it. And it is Abran's turn. Abran, you are in the air, 30 feet, being held by your shoulders in this sharp clawed talons. And as you look up, you see the neck that looks like a horse, a beak that's starting to become feathered, a beak at the end of the snout, and you realize that you are being held aloft by a hippogriff. It's not too uncommon of a creature for adventurers such as yourselves.
I'm going to pull out my magic sword and jab up with it into his head, into his neck.
Okay. Now I have some interesting news for everyone. If you are going to pull your sword and attack with it, you are going to have to literally just drop your bow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Ooh.
you drop
Will
your
that
bow.
hurt it?
It will not hurt your bow, but it's
Okay.
going to not be with you for this combat.
Leave your bow up
Okay.
there.
That's fine.
So you drop your bow and it goes to the ground. You pull your sword and make an attack.
Unless you climb on it and ride it.
So
A big friend.
18 to hit.
Yes, you hit it.
So that will be. Oops, I grabbed the wrong dice. 9 points of damage on the first one, and with my second attack, and this will use Colossus now that I've injured it.
All right.
A 25 to hit.
That hits.
19, one away from 20, and 10 more points of damage.
Okay, this was just a poor and simple hippogriff, and it suddenly, as it's flying up, it's grabbed you, it begins to fall lifeless to the ground. You're falling with it,
Grabbed
30
the
feet
wrong
in the air.
And it's falling on top of you, right?
I mean,
Can I use any kind of dexterity movement, since I might have some movement left in my turn, to spin the body around and try to land as much as possible on top
I'll
of
let
it?
you make an acrobatics check to half the damage and land on top of it. DC
Okay.
is 16.
It falls
DC
before
is-
anybody else can take an action.
So I use it. Oh, I look at dexterity and use my dexterity bonus, right?
So it's an acrobatics check. If you look at your skills, you'll see acrobatics.
So I got a 17 total.
Okay, you
Oh,
made
plus
it with
5.
16. So you're able to whip up, or do your elven swirl up onto its back, and it hits
Yeah.
the ground first. It's jarring to you because it is from 30 feet up.
Yeah.
It would have been 13 points of damage. You're going to take 6 points of damage because you managed to get on top. Boom.
Dude, that was spectacular right there.
It was.
It slammed
I was
onto the
expecting
ground
you to use your shield like a skateboard on that one.
right in front of
Yeah.
Pugil. It just lands right in front of Pugil.
Legolas can bite me. Yeah.
I guess we'll keep the same old elf.
Oh, for
I
now.
love to get my bow. That was a good magic sword.
Okay, and you have
9.7.
some movement.
9.7.
What did I get from the Russian judge?
The Russian
I
judges
wonder what the
concur.
deduction
It's a
was.
9.7.
Why did he get the 0.3 off?
You move over to
Did you
get
not
your
stick
bow.
to landing?
I took damage.
You did take some damage. Gooseneck. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Hippogriffs are good creatures.
They're neither good nor evil. They're just beasts. They're unaligned creatures.
Good enough to sink their talons into our elf and try to kill him, I guess.
Well, they do get a little
Right.
weird when they just pop into existence in a city. You know,
Yeah.
wild
How
animal.
would you feel?
Okay. We get it.
Okay, well, I'm
A
going
wizard riled
to.
him up.
Good paint job on that.
Someone ratted us out.
I'm going to zap the air creature with
Okay.
some lightning.
Let's see.
It's DC 13.
Ah,
It fails the saving throw.
All right. So 4 points of lightning damage,
Okay.
and now it's time to whackety whack with the axe.
All right.
14. Is that it?
It does. Wait. I'm looking at the. It does not.
Okay. Well, we'll try it again. This one will be better. Here we go. 20.
Hits.
Not a natural 20, but 20.
That's okay.
Okay. Or 6 points of damage.
Ooh, right. All right, Gooseneck, you have successfully attacked this air elemental. You hear at this, right before we get to Corncob's turn, you hear like a scream from above at the top of the tower, cut off with a gurgle.
ooh.
And it is Corncob's turn.
Somebody else is going to need a new elf.
Toll the Dead worked pretty good before. I'm going to try that again.
Okay. My wisdom save is a 5.
Oh, too bad. 14 points.
Okay. Ouch. Kind of hurt. All kinds of hurts. Okay, Corncob, is that? Are you going to? You're staying toe to toe with this, aren't you?
Why not? Stupid
Okay.
thing.
It is Pugil's turn.
I'm going to shoot it again.
Okay.
Go get him now.
Never mind. Rolled an 8.
Okay.
Oh, like a fart in a windstorm.
But I will move to put. Yeah, no kidding. My little toothpick-sized crossbow bolt is lost in the swirling winds. But I will move around and hide behind the elf.
There you go. All right. Pugil, that was you, and Kay, it's your turn.
I'm going to pull out our rented spyglass and look at the top of the tower where the screaming was.
Ah. Okay. Make a perception check.
Hmm. 23.
23.
22. Sorry. I misread my sheet.
So you
Holy shit.
think you
That's
get
my passive perception.
I know, that's awesome.
a glimpse of some movement up there. There's something up there. It looks almost humanoid though, the way it moved across the broken stones you can see in shadow. But it also, at the same time, you made a good roll. So while it's humanoid in shape, it flowed elegantly across your view as it crossed your spyglass and the opening in there. And you watch
Wow,
another shape
elegantly.
drop from what you would assume is their hand. And they look, and this is when you realize that this is a large humanoid shape, larger than probably double the size of a human. And
Greater demon-sized?
They drop a shape that looks like a lifeless body that's humanoid as well out of their hands, and it falls onto the ground,
Wizard robes.
onto the floor that it's on.
They
And
got
then
double crossed too.
It crosses out of your
Someone's
view.
double crossing everybody.
The triple cross, a quadruple cross.
Malpheus got double crossed. We got double crossed and ratted out.
I don't think we got ratted out. I think he just sucks as a wizard.
That ship can't come too soon.
How far away is the tower from where we are? How many feet?
Fathom is 10 feet from it. And the
From
rest
the tower?
Yeah, from the tower, from the base of the tower.
And then how high
is this large figure in bow range?
Well, so you didn't necessarily see it. But it would probably be in bow range. It depends on what. But it's gone now. It crossed Kay's vision, and then out of vision again. It's not. It was only there while she looked up. And it's Kay. It's you. To decide how you want to move. You have movement left if you want to use it.
Did Kay say which way it went?
I think it was just like passing across a window.
Yep.
Okay.
So, I don't know if we can necessarily guess a whole lot about where it went just from that. I mean, it might still be up there for all we know.
Oh, of course it's still up there.
And up there is where the wall blew out, right? Not
Yes.
Down
Yes.
where we are.
Right.
I mean,
That's
if
where
you guys get this under
finish-
control, you can fly up there if you want.
He accidentally scuffed the circle open is what he did.
Get 3 up there.
Let's finish off this air elemental and get upstairs.
Kay, did you want to move,
Yeah.
or you want to stay where you are observing?
I'm going to move towards the barred door.
Okay. All right, you can get to the door. Fathom, it's your turn.
I'd like to move over a bit. It's like, hopefully I've been holding the gust of wind up a little so it's not blowing on my friends. But no, the other direction, so I can blow. Yeah, to the left.
Yeah.
So I can just fan the wind as a bonus action to change the direction. So
okay, it
if he
pushes it.
starts his turn in the line, he'll have to succeed
save.
on the saving throw.
Right.
Or get pushed back. But that's a bonus action, so presumably I could also cast a spell, right?
Correct.
If I can find my spell. All right, I will use Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
17.
Strikes.
Damage rolls damage. 10 damage.
Okay. It just, with the wind that you've already waved at it and the pressure of that blast, you watch it just sort of explode in a puff. Just and dissipate into the air around you all.
Yay!
Good
The
job.
last poor wing critter.
And
I will close up the fan.
okay. Away it goes. Okay,
Let's
so
go look at the body.
yeah, are you going upstairs into
Well,
this?
do we?
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
the body was
Let's
dropped
go.
outside.
No,
No,
it's inside the tower.
Inside.
Let's rush into the
Oh,
trap
okay.
tower and fight the greater
No,
demon.
no, I'm sorry.
Hold
I
on,
thought the
hold
demon
on.
reached out and
Yeah.
dropped the body outside. That's,
Dropped inside.
I'm sorry.
Kill that
Kay has
demon.
a
Let's
plan,
go.
hopefully.
Kay has
All
some
right.
words of wisdom for us.
I want to grab a random street urchin and give him a couple of copper coins or whatever to have him carry a message to Patrick that it looks
We know
like
who you are. We know what you did. We're coming for you,
Looks like-
Patrick.
Melfius has been killed by his compatriots. We need to get into his tower to investigate.
Oh, okay. It swoops up the coin. Says, Patrick, Apara. Okay. And takes off.
Hurry, child. Run. We're going to go breaking into this tower. We're going to need some legal cover.
Get your bow. Don't forget your bow. It's laying on the ground, elf.
He ran for it.
Now,
Yeah.
I could.
I got my bow, and I would like to do cure wounds on myself since I took some hippogriff damage.
I could fly two of you up there, and I think Pujo could fly one. I'm not saying that's what we should do. I'm just mentioning it. as a
Maybe
thing.
for reconnaissance only. Maybe fly somebody up with the spyglass from
What
a
about the
safer
person with the
distance and
cloak?
see if we could tell.
It helps them hide. What if we flew that person up?
Yeah, with a spy. Yeah, so we can get an idea what's happening before we run into certain death.
Well, I
Because,
could
you know, when
cast
you run into
invisibility
certain
and
death, you
fly
kind of
out.
want to know what's happening.
Let's fly the
But you have
lizard and the elf and the cleric.
Okay.
El Lagarto.
And then
will
they
body
can throw-
slam the greater demon.
They can throw ropes down for the agile and the small.
Except they'll be fighting probably. So do we want to just
Well-
send one person up for reconnaissance?
I say recon first. That would be my vote.
Because
I'm
doesn't your heart allow
Willing to
you
be outvoted.
invisibility
I
and
can-
fly?
Yes.
So because if
Would
I
you-
can, I
would you
can
like-
cast them, but I would use up my slots, so then there'd be no fireballs.
Yes. If I
We need the fireballs.
now who would we send? Well, you want to send the lizard or you want me to go?
I think Kay, the very observant with the spyglass, should go.
Oh yeah, very good. That's a better idea.
Also, when is that thing due
Send,
back at the library?
send the one
I
who
don't wanna get
doesn't want to
fined.
go.
It doesn't matter. We're not going to interrupt our break to return a rented item.
No, I didn't mean we should go right now. I just let's not forget that we were supposed to return that.
It's only like the second day we've had it.
I say let's go now. Let's make Kay go now.
We're gonna make
Although,
you invisible,
I-
Kay. No one's
I
gonna
don't-
see you.
I don't think we can make Kay do anything she doesn't want to.
I would be sad to lose Kay, unlike others.
I'll go.
No,
What?
I can go.
What?
You're talking about going
Who
up
would you?
to surveil, right? You're not talking about going to take the
Yeah.
spyglass back.
No, you're gonna be
No, take
invisible.
the spyglass
and
up with
flying.
you so you can stay far
Yeah.
away from the window
And wear
or the
your
hole in the
special
wall.
cloak.
Okay.
What?
Wear your special cloak.
Yep.
But then you're also gonna be invisible.
Oh,
Is that what we're doing?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
someone
You
cast.
need to know what's up there.
All right. I cast invisibility on Kay, and well, you know what? I'm going to cast fly first because then I'm going to
So
cast
that you can
invisibility.
find
and I won't
her?
be able to see her. Yeah. So I'll cast fly first, and then cast invisibility.
Frank,
Okay.
how far away is the hole from where we are right now?
It is, so you can see I've just sort of opened up a hole that they would be into. It is
Yeah.
4 stories up, so about 40 feet up or so.
Okay.
And on the same side that you are on of this tower.
If my Rutarki sniper rifle has a scope on it, correct?
It does. The angle means unless it's right in front of this door, like looking out at you guys or walking past, you're not going to be able to a shot at it. But if it does come by the door, you can take a shot.
I would like to have my rifle out ready to, because I'm afraid that even with the invisibility and everything, that Kay's going to be out there and get exposed, and it's going to come looking out.
Okay.
Well, and remember, there was a small army mentioned at one point in our discussions. We don't know if this is an outlier or if this is the beginning of a troop.
Yeah, you don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so Kay...
We also don't know. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
We also don't know with this guy's stone shaping capability whether busting his tower is a common occurrence or not.
Well, for that matter, we don't even know it's Maltheus.
Yeah.
It could be one of his ill-fated
whatever's up there.
But it is Melpheus's tower. We do know that.
Yes.
Right,
And
but
he is.
that's why
he's-
we need.
he's the-
That's
he's
why
the
we need a
arcane stone
reconnoiter.
shaper.
He's dead.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't know,
so
he's
you
dead.
fly up.
He was the arcane
We
stone shaper.
this is
Past tense.
the same floor plan, so I'm just moving everyone back, and Kay is flown up to it. Inside, Kay, you are greeted by this is kind of ripped open here.
I
floor.
don't think she said she went inside.
Oh well,
She's looking at with the spyglass.
You're still looking at it.
Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be some distance away. I don't want to just pop in there. That seems like a very bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can be looking back. So you see that it, at least from back, you see a body on the ground.
It's got wizard robes, doesn't it?
But you don't see anything around it. And let me put this body down. I'm just going to use a mini for the body because it doesn't necessarily matter, but it is robed.
Hence the wizardness.
Could just be an underling.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
I wonder. Well, I'm not up there.
His cook or his.
Yeah, his manservant.
Or his elf. It could be his elf.
Yeah, his fluffer.
All right. So I don't see any other movement or anything up there. Just the dead guy.
Yeah, just the dead guy. And you see that it breaks in, the wall breaks into some sort of passage. Not really a room, but it looks more like a passage.
Okay.
Now,
I will go to the opening.
You'll go to the opening. Okay. So as you look in the opening,
may I ask a question about the opening? Does it look as if the opening was broken out, or is it broken in?
broken out.
Okay.
So as you kind of just go to the opening and you look in, you see that it's a very wide, I guess you could call it a hall, but it's almost 20 feet across from where you enter to the other side, which is massive. It is adorned on the ground with some pretty fancy, almost murals that are done in a tile mosaic all across the ground around here. But it looks like there is an inner room, at least possibly, that's part of what you're looking at. The wall looks to go and then turn down. I'm sorry, it goes like this and then turns down like that, and you're just looking at one side of inside of a square, basically.
Do the murals on the floor, are they like pictorial or are they patterned?
They are patterned, but the patterns are elemental in nature on this side that you see. You can see like fire and wind and earth, water sort of look in both the color and the shapes. But as you look at the corners, like down here at this corner, for example, and there's a corner to your right as well, then those sort of change into planar almost. You see something that looks like it is from both planes where you might find fiends and planes where you might find solars or angels and things like that on the other side.
So do these patterns on the floor look like? I mean, I'm going to assume, just based on what we know about this guy, that there's some sort of summoning aid, based kind of on what we've learned from Fathom and like what we ran into before, down while we were in those underground tunnels with the magic sigils. Do these look like things where if the wrong person steps on them, it could summon unfortunate things?
Make an Arcana check.
$19.
That's no. So to you, these almost look like adornment. They look like for decoration. You would expect to see some sort of arcane runes, and you're familiar with them enough. You're fairly confident that this is not that at all. It's more like a mosaic that's for looks.
All right, then I will enter the hallway.
So nothing odd happens. You do hear from the other side of the wall in front of you like a thump kind of hit against it. It's a fairly solid wall, so it doesn't break, and it also doesn't make a identifying sound other than that. But on the ground is what looks like should be a wizard. Very dead.
All the way dead.
Yeah,
all the way dead.
all the way dead.
Not just
Failed
mostly
all
dead.
the saving rolls.
Right. This was
Failed those saving rolls.
a very non-professional doctor performing an open heart surgery dead.
Oh,
Ooh.
lovely.
Yeah, gruesome.
Okay, I'm gonna leave
Does
the
it
dead
look like a
wizard for the.
60-year-old man?
Super old.
It,
That's a good question.
yes, it does look like a appropriately aged man.
Yes, it's a ring of fireballs. Water breathing.
Good.
I got water breathing.
I'm gonna
You know
leave the
we
dead
never
wizard
let
for
you have
now.
a ring of
Okay,
fireballs, right?
leaving the dead wizard for now.
We never let you have a ring of fireballs.
I want to, as stealthily as I can manage, go down the hallway and see if I can find.
Throw his
the
body
door
out the
to-
window.
Make a stealth check.
Yes, yes.
Oh, 29.
Whoa.
That's a natural
Nice.
20.
That is wonderful.
Sneaky,
Were you going to
sneaky.
the right or to the left?
I will go to the right.
Okay. That's the right. Okay, so you are, and you can just peek around the corner. You don't see anything nefarious, but you definitely see that around this corner, it is mosaics of planes or shapes that would imply different planes that are aligned with angels, solars, planetars, things of a divine nature. Okay.
Does it look like there's a entrance to the interior room in this
Not-
side?
No, not along this hallway.
Okay, I'm just going to continue down the hallway then and go to the next one. See if there's a entrance there. My goal is to get to some sort of entrance to this interior room so I can peek in and see what if the demon is still in there or if there's something else going on.
Right. So you're able to to move a little bit farther, but you're stealthing. It takes a little bit more time when you're moving, so you get a clear shot all the way down the hallway. Nothing strange in it, but you're not able to go much further this time. However, you're able to at least see half of the hallways in this building. It looks good. Okay, so, all right, Kay, that is your move. Fathom, it's your turn.
Hmm.
Oh, I like that fire.
Yeah.
Do we
I like
notice
the panning
anything
effect.
around the actual front door happening?
No, I mean, it seems like not much is moving around in there. The gate's intact. The wood door that was behind the gate is gone. It was well, it's not gone completely, but it's broken, smashed. The air elemental that went through ripped it apart.
Just since I can't think of much else to do, I'm going to cast Detect Magic just so I'm now looking. I know it's
Okay.
only 30 feet, but if we
That's
get
okay.
closer later, then
So there is magic, a lock on the bars. So they're right in front of you on the lower level. These are all pretty much the same. So let me make it look like that.
so that's probably not a great way to go in.
Yeah, I mean, it's locked. You could use a magical spell to unlock it if you had one, or someone could. But other than that, you'd have to actually physically get through these bars somehow.
But might I also suppose that there are magical traps on it?
You don't actually see any with Detect Magic.
Oh. I unfortunately do not think I have a way to get in, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Can't the lizard throw the elf over the wall?
Well, I think the wall goes straight up. We're
It
just
goes straight
seeing
up,
just
yeah.
one part of it.
Oh. So
Yeah.
it's not like a wall. It's the actual side of the tower.
Yeah. It just
Yeah, this
keeps,
guy's got no yard.
it just
I
keeps going.
misunderstood. Okay.
I think it's time to implement Pujol's plan with the ropes and just go up and work our way down.
You know
Oh,
what
I do have
could
a
do?
question.
Yes, Fathom.
If I can teleport to a place I can see, that would include seeing beyond these bars, right?
Absolutely. You could just pop right in
All
there.
right. I'm not going to do it, but I will let them know I could do it. Again, that it's that or another fireball. So
Okay.
Can you teleport twice?
fireball.
Because if you're in there and it's barred shut, you want to be able to get out.
as long as I don't do any
Ah,
fireballs here.
No, we need the
Yeah, don't keep the
fireballs.
fireballs.
I think
Yeah,
we need to do
let's-
the rope. I think.
I have a suggestion. I could cast levitate, and the gnome could levitate up to the hole and throw a rope back down.
Well, let's let our
Can you cast it on me? I think I'm stronger.
Sure.
Are we waiting for the report
Well,
though?
then
I have
He
a
needs to-
14 strength.
I
I don't know if that matters.
He needs to get up there.
Okay. So let's go to Abran's turn. Abran, because we are still running in rounds because whatever's happening up there is time constrained a little bit. So you've done a little bit of chat. You walked up, you cast Detect Magic. You told them you could pop through there if you needed to. Kay's already done the upper part. Abran, it's your turn down below there.
I put my Rutarki rifle away. There's no way to levitate me up there with the rope. I have stealth. I could levitate up, drop the rope down for you guys to climb up. And
Are you
I could
strong
do
enough
that.
to get us up there?
I could.
Yeah,
I
I
could
have
do
a
that.
16 strength.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Pugil.
then you
On
should.
That'd probably be
Pugil's,
best.
you want to kind
If
of hold.
Abran doesn't have 4 strength, who does?
I know, right?
Easily, so you could hold off onto Pugil's turn, and then Pugil could levitate you if that's what you want to try.
There's no other way
If I-
for me to. How did Kay get up there?
She flew. I cast fly on her.
She flew. Oh, okay. All right. So we had to wait for that. And it's. I can't climb up there in one turn.
You not in one turn, no.
Okay. I'll wait. What do you think, guys? You want me to wait, or you want me to try climbing?
I think somebody has to get up there and belay a rope so that the rest of us can get up there.
Okay.
At this point, it makes
I
more
agree.
sense to get up there and come down. I'm sorry, what?
We don't want.
Didn't we send Kay up there to find out if it was worth all of us going up?
And she can still fly. If she needs to escape, she's invisible and can fly. If we all get up
Right.
there and get into trouble, we'll have to
gonna
throw
fight.
the elf out and land on him.
Well, if we're trying to, are we trying to get into the tower because we've got an iron gate in front of us? We're
Well,
going to have
let's
to
wait
beat
till-
down.
I say let's wait for the
I think
scout's
Gooseneck.
report.
I thought we
Gooseneck
weren't trying to
should
get
grab
in
the
until we
hippogriff
found
body.
out what was up there.
That's true. I was assuming I'd already heard the scouting report, but you're right. She's still up there.
All right.
Okay.
So
I'm
we'll build a
waiting.
campfire and set up watches.
We could do
Well,
calisthenics with
watching
the
for that
orphans.
urchin.
Yeah.
Gooseneck, you want to just wait for Kay's report?
Yep.
Okay. Is everybody good for waiting for Kay's report? Because we'll just swap to her in the
Yes.
round and let her move. Okay.
As
We're all
opposed to
gonna-
Kay's journal. This is Kay's report.
No, yeah, Kay's journal is different.
Let's hope.
All right, Kay, we're on your turn again. You're up there. You can see down the hallway.
Mhm.
And you can double move with your stealthing all the way to the corner. And when you look down this corner, you see a barred gate as well, like the one that's on the outside, but it has been
Oh, that's Pujol's favorite.
ripped open almost. Right there on your left, it's the bars in it are tweaked open and they just sort of bow out.
Okay, I'm going to stealth my way up to that doorway and look inside.
Okay.
Suspense.
The music hasn't changed yet.
It might not change. So you see just tossing items aside, looking, throwing through books, clatters of this and that as it comes around, a figure that's almost not quite fully opaque. A hint of air is flowing around them. Their clothes, as minimal as they are, just sort of fluttering about them. It doesn't look like a demon that you've expected to see, at least.
Oh, let's kill it.
Does it
Oh,
look
she's
like
cute.
the creature that I saw with the dead wizard?
It does. It does have the same sort of shape and flow as they move across, just tearing down books in the shelves. You see a scuffed up magic circle in the middle of this room on the ground as though it was broken apart or a failed summoning. And this very your passive insight's like 17 or 19. It's 19. It's that movements that they're making are angry as they're kind of throwing stuff out, but they're not out of control necessarily. It looks like they're looking through things as though they might find something that catches their interest, but everything's sort of beneath them. It's not interesting. It's not what they're looking for. It's not very good. They might glance at something twice and put it away, toss it over their shoulder, or set a couple of things back down if it was, I don't know, a bauble of glass you see at one point, a gem, and a small beaker as well.
And is that the right scale? That thing's that big?
Yes.
It's good paint job.
It's lovely. Ujo's
Well-
dream date.
Oh, he likes them big.
Whatever she's looking for, I don't think I want her to find it. So
Let's kill her.
I'm gonna
We're
find
not up there. We
like,
don't even know this is happening.
a piece of stone from the wall or something like that,
Mhm.
and chuck it in there. Try to get her attention.
Okay.
Not really trying to attack her, but I do want to get her to chase me.
Okay. Yeah. The item kind of comes in, and she looks up at you, narrows her eyes, and opens her mouth to ask you, "Who are you?"
She sees her even though she's invisible?
Yes.
And has a fancy cloak.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, that's a good point. You're stealth too, and that's different than invisibility. And your stealth check was a 20. Okay, maybe not.
29.
9.
Sorry. There's unlikely I'm going to see you, but we'll see. No.
Who
Okay,
goes
so
there?
you see her look up at you, and then exactly she changes from "Who are you?" to "Who's there?" And her voice comes out very airy, but also very assertive, like
Don't answer.
you would expect this person to have some control, or
Don't give her your real name.
No. Don't give it your social either.
So she's not all Hulk smash. She's capable of having a coherent conversation. That's what you're telling me.
She seems to be, yes, but you don't know if she could see you, if that means she would attack you, or since she can't see you, she wants to figure out where you are. That's a little bit unclear even with your insight. She looks tense, as tense as she can be. You also see she looks incredibly elegant. The way she moves, the way she flows is very graceful, even if agitated at the moment.
So I'm going to answer with someone who was not a friend to the wizard.
Make a persuasion check.
$15.
Okay. So many are not a friend of the wizard, and you watch. Snaps her fingers, and you watch her sort of shift out. It's like she splits, and you're seeing 5 of her in front of you.
Uh-oh. Run away.
But she doesn't attack or move forward. She's looking really intensely at wherever your voice is coming from, trying to pinpoint you. But she doesn't actually see you. Of that, you're confident. You're hidden in the
I
shadows.
step like 2 steps to the right and 3 back. And then
You're right. Yes. Okay. And 3 back.
Yeah.
All right. You're right against the wall there.
sure, good enough. Just somewhere slightly different from where I was when I spoke to her the first time.
Yep. Okay. So.
And
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I will say to her, I just want to understand what happened here.
You can hear her in your just it's interesting. I gotta read this real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, and when she talks, it's an odd feeling. Like she's not actually speaking to you in a language that you understand. She's definitely speaking. It's not telepathic. You've had that experience before with the creatures you've dealt with here. But it's like she's speaking a language that you don't know what language it is. You don't understand the language, but you understand the language. You understand what she's saying, but you can't pinpoint what it is. And she says, a human made a grave mistake here, as always.
I'm going to step a little bit to the left and say, yeah, that happens a lot. We're kind of thinking that this guy was making a lot of mistakes. Would you care to maybe come talk to me and my friends about it?
Ooh. Okay, let's do your final persuasion check on this then.
$17.
Okay, let's. He looks at you or at your direction. You moved and you talked, so she knows within 10 feet roughly where you are.
Yep.
And she says, yes, I'll talk. Bring them here, though. My way home is here. Somewhere.
Fair enough.
And she kind of goes, she glances at you, but then she looks down and she starts like pulling through different books, different items. She's pulling stuff off the shelf, looking for anything, basically.
All right. So I'm going to book it back to the opening in the tower.
Okay.
And go back down to the ground where these guys are and tell them, so there's some sort of floaty, airy creature person up there. She's the one who killed him. It looks kind of like maybe it was a summoning gone wrong. And now she's looking for a way to go home, but she's willing to talk to us. She did not seem like she was planning to attack me out of hand. She just wants to talk to us up there.
We would probably like her to go home instead of staying here irritated, right?
Yes, I would think so.
Okay.
Maybe we can help her find whatever it is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. In you all go. You go up around. Oh man, I can smell Abrand's disappointment.
Oh, he's not disappointed yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He has to be in the same room and make his move. But you never know what his move's going to be, right? I mean, that's the thing about Abrand.
Maybe he'll get
I need a new
distracted by
boon.
her.
Might be a fighter, might be a lover.
Yeah, take it behind the wall, though. We don't want to see.
You get up into
glad
the
you
room.
finished that sentence the right way.
So the first, when you step over the poor wizard in the, well, poor maybe, depending on the crimes they've wrought in the floor.
Well, let's
would like-
search the wizard. Maybe the thing she wants is on the wizard.
I'd like to pilfer that wizard.
Just on the way by, you all like frisk him down and pull the stuff off.
Well, if she's
Yeah.
looking for an item, it makes sense to see if the item is on the wizard.
Don't you think she
Yeah.
would have searched him when she ripped his heart out?
She might have
We
been
need a couple
distracted.
Just
of
saying.
rings. We need a couple of rings.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, the
and-
wizard's pockets
My
inside
detect
out.
magic should still be going, by the way,
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
unless it's been more than 10 minutes.
Okay. That's
And I
it
could
has,
just cast it again.
it has not been more than 10 minutes. So you look. He has magic on him. He does. He's got a cloak that's magical. He's got
Okay.
3 magical rings.
Ooh.
One
Oh.
of fireballs. Yeah.
That you can't have.
And
3.
and his well, yeah, it's true. Actually, it's true. And he's got a hat, a little cap that's tucked away in the inside of his robe. That's also magical. So 5 magical items:
Ooh.
a cap, 3 rings, and a robe.
Well, let's snag
Grab
those.
Stuff
and
them
let's-
in your
stuff 'em
pack
a
and let's
sack
go.
and we'll- yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk
Stuff
to
them
her
all in
about
a sack and we'll
Move
figure out
on.
what they are later.
what is she looking for? Does she know what she's looking for?
I have no idea.
Way home.
Can you introduce us?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
So, ma'am, these are my friends. We were here to investigate what the wizard was up to. Clearly, he was up to no good.
Clearly. And no friend of yours.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, you beat me to the
No.
kill.
Never
Nope.
met him. Very suspicious of him.
He was
We hear you're trying to get home.
slated.
Actually, you look like you're looking for something as well. Is there any way we can help with either of those missions?
How you doing?
So
There we go.
make a everybody make a persuasion
Mushroom
check as
Queen
you're doing
Part
this
2.
conversation.
Is that right at advantage? or
Joey
just-
Abran.
Yeah, do I get advantage?
You don't get
I got a
advantage.
19.
19, and your persuasion is just for different reasons, Abram, but you don't get advantage.
Oh.
11.
What were we rolling again? I'm sorry,
Your
a
abs
perception
aren't
or a
that much of an
persuasion?
advantage.
Persuasion.
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 Persuasion. Oh, that's good. I got a 19.
I got a
in that.
I got a 13.
Oh, you might miss out this time, Abram.
Maybe you need to show her the abs.
Pujo, what was yours, or did you?
A 14, but my wife was talking to me. I missed what happened. I'm sorry. Why am I rolling this?
Abran's dad.
No, no, you were kind of. This is sort of you're kind of asking what she's up to in a way, and so this is whether or not how much she's trusting you and
Okay.
answering.
Trying
Okay.
to make friends with the floaty lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abran wants to be
Mm.
more than friends.
Mm. I rolled a
Um,
13. I kind of stumbled on myself right there.
yeah, you've never seen anyone like this, Abran. So
Abran is kind of a
Wow.
libertine.
Mhm.
So it seems reasonably calm for all of you. She says, in truth, I can go home on my own, but I'd like to destroy whatever he used to summon my kind here, so they won't be
That seems reasonable to me.
soiled by this sort of
Yeah.
thing in the future.
What are we looking for?
A censer, perhaps, I thought would be the most obvious thing, but perhaps.
Well,
a
there's 4
book.
fires burning in the corners of this room.
Yes, it'd be more. Probably
Smaller?
smaller
Illumination.
with more
So it's not
expensive
just the circle,
oils
he
and,
would've-
and herbs in it. Yes, not
Had
just
to.
the circle.
Okay, let's all look.
And that wasn't anything we found on him, right?
It was not something you found on him.
The hat wouldn't be.
No,
Later.
definitely not.
All
So
right,
make,
let's search.
Do you want to?
make some
I'm going to
investigation
search.
checks. Yeah.
Abran.
16 for
12.
corn cob.
12,
15 for Abran.
16, 15,
17.
17.
20, but not natural.
Okay, and Pujo?
10.
10. Okay, Fathom. Under one of the bookcases in here, you just rolled. It's a little. You see a little gold. It almost looks like a tea ball, but you see a little bit of smoke sort of wafting out from it. It's rolled under. It's on a chain. It's attached to a.
That seems like
shame.
something she might be talking about. So, can I snag it?
Yep, you can reach under there and snag it out. And as soon as you do, she is yes, yes. That's what I'm.
Do we need to
searching for."
extinguish that fire?
Yes, and destroy the device.
I
Oh,
assume
I
it's
can do
magic.
that.
turn it over to her and let her do it.
Yeah.
Yes. I want you to feel confident that it's been done. So here's the item.
Okay. So, okay. She she grabs. I'm sorry. I have I hear good things from John occasionally. She pulls the censer into her hand, and you watch her just almost melt it. It looks like it turns from metal into a organic plant matter, and then she crushes it in her hand, and it falls down in powder. He turns and says, "Thank you."
Can we know the name of your kind?
I'm a Djinn.
Okay.
Genie, Jen. I go by many names.
Okay. We've just never encountered anything like you before.
Indeed.
Some of these types, and she's obviously referring to the wizard. Think they can
former
control
wizard.
us. Offer,
What
ask for favors.
do you have any idea what the wizard's intent was by summoning you to bind you to some action?
Yes. Yes. He wished to bind me to the servitude.
This time he successfully.
You broke up there, Bobby. What was that?
Is this the first time he has successfully summoned you?
I wouldn't call it a success. It is the
Agreed.
first time I've seen this human.
Huh.
But I know
Bit
he
off more than
had
he could chew, huh?
plans. Indeed, he did. And I don't think was asking for his own. Wanting to, before I noticed the mistake in his summoning, he demanded that I serve a friend of his.
That you,
Yeah,
that you
we've
serve?
heard We've heard
Did he
such
say
talk.
the name of his friend?
Yes. That I should serve Jorik.
Jorik? That sounds a little familiar.
That does.
What's her name?
So when you ask, she gives you an answer, and you can hear it in her native language, but I don't think any of you speak Oran. Maybe you do. I'm not sure. But it ends up translating to...
Well, Abram might have had an Orish girlfriend at some point.
Perhaps.
Yeah, but she only taught him swear words.
It translates to sunset breeze.
That's very pretty.
So she's a Gulf Coast gin.
Yeah, is that a drink made with gin?
Now, Prince, you have to make
girls.
that up.
Does the name Sustebian mean anything to you?
Nothing.
How about the fall?
I've been called on by members of the Fall before. At some point, my name fell in their hands, often asking to retrieve body parts, the dead, ingredients of a necromantic nature,
Oh, that's not pleasant.
things of
No.
poison that don't hurt me.
And who was responsible for your summoning and servitude in those cases?
Various wizards, I knew not their names at most times.
Hmm.
Do you have a axe to grind with the fall?
Only to
We
try to
do.
prevent, however, many more of my kind they have names for that they might want to call to their aid.
Just
So
one of their many
we
crimes.
The name you told us to call you by probably isn't your summoning name. Is that correct?
Correct.
And we don't
Okay.
need to know that.
No, we
to know
don't
your-
need to know it.
Nothing. We're
Well,
never going to.
I'd rather not, as a matter of fact.
Well, here's my line of questions, though. If you do have an axe to grind with the fall, so do we. If we come across an encounter that we feel like you might want to also be involved with to reach your goals of them never summoning you again, would you like us to call upon you?
I have little magic to assist you with that without giving me your name, giving you my name. She looks over you all, though, as she says this. And she says, "If
What about?
Go ahead. No,
I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say, but what about the reverse? If you come upon information that we can use to foil the fall, would you find us to share that?
I could. Yes.
So who does she want to be the communique?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
she-
could-
let her finish the first thought.
Yes.
I sense a magic device of summoning on you in your possession already. She's kind of looking at you, Corncob. I think she's looking at you. You have the water elemental stone, right?
Yes, I do.
I could.
I would be honored to carry such a device.
I could free up the space in there, and you could call me instead if you wished. Not in full servitude, but as a favor.
I absolutely understand the conditions.
Do we lose the water element, or do we lose the water element?
Yeah, this is you. So Kay immediately, with your passive insight, see that the win-win for her is she kind of detests.
I have to give up the water elemental?
Yeah, she kind of
Yes.
detests items of
She's
servitude.
trying to free
Ah.
him.
So she would be freeing the elemental and offering that she could come in its place, but not necessarily at
She
your
has the right
exact
of refusal.
dictation.
I don't think that would work for us. This is a mindless creature that I can summon for our forthcoming water adventures, and I don't know that replacing it with an intelligent being such as yourself would make much sense.
It's not mindless.
What's that crazy noise?
It's not a mindless creature. But if you would
Well,
rather call upon
It's
it.
certainly no djinn. I mean,
No, it's not.
I would rather if there's a way to have a different sort of summoning device.
We do also have a dragon cell phone, if you could kind of tag onto that.
The gnome votes for the swap.
I vote
she's
against the
making me feel
swap.
kind of bad about the water elemental.
I'll
I'd be
go with
pro-swap.
Pujol on this one. I don't want to piss
Yeah,
the
me
gin
too.
off.
You're gonna have
I'm
to
with
kill
the
me.
gnome.
Wow.
Dadgummit. We need a new cleric.
Corn cob.
Dadgummit.
Oh,
See, I don't understand why we trade something that's under our control for something that's never going to be under our control.
But she's
She
more
might be more
powerful, and as long as we're nice to her, she might help us out.
That's right. A
Just
relationship
as
is
long
better
as
than
we're
a
nice to her.
pragmatic soul.
No, is
Yeah,
there any
okay.
other way we can do this? Let's wait a minute. Is there any other way we
I
can
would
do
like to
this? You
ask
had a
her-
different suggestion on the tip of your tongue before Pujol so rudely interrupted.
So that
I
was
just voiced an opinion.
that was the suggestion that she had. However, she does say you could. I'm sure this wizard had something in the way of stones you could communicate through somewhere in here. I have little items.
Well, we
for
noticed
things
some
of
scattered
this.
on the floor.
Yes, nothing like sending stones, though, unfortunately. I can travel to other planes, but I can't provide you a way to travel or call into other planes if it's beyond your capabilities.
I don't know that we need to travel to other planes.
Well, you need to get your words to other planes
Well, that,
if you
yeah.
wish to call me.
Is there a way to use the dragon sending stone?
If you had the other side of it, yes.
I don't.
Take that.
We could call the dragon and ask him to cough it up if you feel like whipping a blue dragon.
We could sell tickets to that, I bet.
Well,
Blue-
she said the
Light
wizard
of the
might have had
century.
suitable devices in here. Maybe we can find something if we look around some
Yeah,
more.
cast is your detect magic still going?
It's still up.
If it isn't, I can just do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I want
so
all the magic in here.
you look
Yes.
around.
I'd rather not give up anything we have already.
There
It's
is.
Loot Central.
There is.
But it's a slave, Jason. Do you want a slave?
It's not quite as loot heavy.
She's
as you'd
not
want
a
it to be.
slave. This is what I can't seem to make clear.
No, the one
This
you
is totally
have is a
voluntary.
slave. It's bad.
Yeah, I know. We have a slave already.
Well, some of us aren't comfortable with it.
So, okay, so what do we
Wait a minute, I
find?
thought you were an evil creature of darkness, Fathom. Slavery is good.
Oh,
An
let's
evil
don't get
creature
into
of
this.
darkness.
Find a damn stone already.
Hey,
Just
hey,
find a
profiling.
stone. Good Lord. Let's
Gooseneck.
find the stone.
You were on.
Yep.
You were saying. Dean, you
What?
were saying.
Me? I was saying, what do we find? What Fathom was doing her magic search.
Yeah, let's
You
find a
don't
stone.
find.
What do
You
we
don't find that this was a great loot treasure inside here. You see that this wizard probably kept a lot of the stuff on their person. So the stuff you found is probably the most of the magical things. You do find a couple odds and ends, little kind of odd trinkets and stuff. Make investigation checks to see as you dig through stuff if you can find in a reasonable amount of time the things that she's hinting might be here.
5.
17.
19.
Ujo gets a 12. I mean, sorry, Corncob gets a 12.
Hey, is my bardic inspiration still going?
Yeah, they could use it whenever they wanted.
Then I want to add
So-
it to this roll. So I had 11.
What do we
I rolled
add?
8.
She had Pugil's bardic
Well,
inspiration.
now I have
Oh, she
12,
did,
so
okay.
That was awesome. All right, you know what? I'm using my inspiration.
I got a 19.
At least you're
19.
true to
20.
form, Fathom.
19 is good. You still get your
Oh, boy.
1 on top of that. What'd you roll, Fathom?
1.
Okay, that's a good. Okay.
How do you roll a 0 if you get a +1? What is,
No, I rolled my actual roll would then be
God.
8. No, 7.
7.
Plus
Okay.
Marvelous.
No, it would be 8 from the bardic inspiration. So
Did
yeah,
did
I can
anybody
make it
get-
better.
Did anybody get more than K's 19?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kay, you can tell a little bit that there's a couple of experimental things outside of this room. He was maybe a little dangerous with how this wizard did a few things, and you see some experimental things outside this room. But you see tucked away, like just beside this book, this one item, and I assume Fathom's just going through going magic, 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 magic. So you can all kind of check out these different things.
And we're picking up all those things where I go magic, 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 right?
Right.
Sort them out later.
And one of the ones that you grab, Kay, as soon as you grab it, it just begins to like freeze, like frost burn your hand, and you see another item that was right next to it start to get so hot that it's beginning to smoke on the wood that it's on.
Oh, well, I put them back together.
Elemental stones.
And as soon as you let go, they kind of normalize in temperature a little bit.
Then I will pick them both up together and say, hey, will these work?
Those will work. You have to be careful with them, but they'll work. If you pick up one, they correspondingly transfer heat across whatever distance you need or whatever plane you need. That would alert
So don't
me.
carry them in your back pocket.
So just a little hot or cold Morse code is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Good.
I'll take the
Well, maybe we could get that artificer to make us some asbestos gloves.
take the cold one if you don't mind.
Sure.
How do we stop the hot one from getting super hot?
Don't hold it.
Hey,
for
aren't
too
you
long.
immune to fire?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not immune, but sure, I'll hold it.
Resistant. So the entire time that one person is holding one of these, the other one's going to get hotter while the one in your hand gets colder. So
So
if
as long
it's
as I leave it in my pocket, it doesn't do anything. It's the touch
Right.
of skin.
right.
Okay.
So if it's hot enough to burn you, it's cold enough to burn whoever's on the other side. And if it's cold enough to burn them, it's hot enough to burn you on this side.
Okay.
Roughly.
Good.
If you were
So you
both
can
the
get
same.
their attention by picking it up and putting a blister on them.
Yeah, exactly. So if suddenly wherever you keep this fathom, it starts getting hot, then someone's holding on to the other one. That's how this works.
I'd keep
Don't
it in
worry,
one of
I
your
don't have
horns.
pouches.
Keep it in your horns.
I don't know that I have storage compartments in my horns, but sure.
Well, I
Oh,
can fix that. We got
Yeah,
tools.
back to the
Hey,
artificer.
tap
We need
off my
to,
horn.
Okay. She says,
not what they're
then
for.
Make you a smuggling horn.
thank you for the sensor. I will advise you on your request. And she just sort of waves.
And disappears.
Well, she hesitates for a moment and
Oh.
then disappears.
Nice meeting you, Sunset Breeze.
I was thinking about it
Yeah.
again, Abram.
Yeah,
was
she
giving
was
you a
probably
second
she
thought.
was
Yeah,
looking at
one-
Abraham. Just
one last
for a
thought.
Ooh,
moment.
nice abs.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you.
Nice abs.
And that
9.7.
We're
yeah.
just all,
Yeah.
you realize we're just all Abram's wing people at this point.
Well, he's
Pretty
only had
much.
one encounter this entire time, so we're not
We got
very
a
good
horn
at it.
dog
Not
elf
very-
and his nephew. That's what we are.
Oh, we're not going to get to see the
Ooh, what
basement
was-
thing. I want to go to the basement.
so
All
that
the
is
rules are.
that's
What was the
actually
rings and-
that's
the rings
actually
and
the
the
end of it
hat
for
and the
this time.
cloak?
I will review the I will reveal the rings off camera.
Okay,
Ah,
that's
Um,
fine.
all right.
Secret tunnels.
And then, yeah, at the beginning of next time, I'll tell everybody. The next time will be at ReaperCon. It will be a one shot that will be story relevant. I will say that much, but it will not ruin or change things
Sure.
in too much of a way where people who are not able to make it will be left out of stuff. So that is it.
I
for
hope
this
they'll be
evening.
watching.
Maybe. I want to thank you to Reaper Miniatures for putting this on. Thank you to Sirenscape for background ambient music. Thank you to John for being our technical director tonight. Thank you to Sidwi Ann for being our camera operator. And all the viewers out there, thank you for watching this. And thank you all the players. There was a variety of stuff. Thank you so much for going with the flow of talking and story and dialogue and getting into combat and not afraid to talk it out with a Jin as well. I'll let all the players plug whatever they would like to before they go, and as we sign off, and we'll start up with Bob.
No plugs, just gratitude. Thank you so much, Frank and Ann and John and everybody else who participated in putting this thing together. This was super fun. We survived another one, and I can't wait for the next time.
Thank you. Gene.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody. I'll just say thanks to y'all. Y'all know who you are. Thank you for all the viewers tuning in, and I had a great time. Looking forward to the next one myself. Thanks.
Thank you. Jason.
Well, I have a lot of gratitude for everybody, Ann and Frank and John, Reaper in general. I do have a couple of sort of plugs. No Crow's Nest this week. We're getting all ready for ReaperCon. There's really no other explanation for that. And speaking of ReaperCon, classes and even hotel availability change by the day. So if you're not in a class you want to get in, keep checking back every day, maybe a couple times a day, because things are just shifting around. We're adding classes. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So keep on top of that if you're coming to ReaperCon.
Michael.
I have more gratitude than anyone else on here. Just want to make that
Of course
clear.
you do. Of course you do.
I thank Ann and Frank and John for being the best producer of the night. Gets that award. So lots of gratitude there. My plugs are, no Crow's Nest this week. Or next week, I should say. We are getting ready. But at ReaperCon, there will be some special Crow's Nest segments during the con. Lots of good interviews, lots of good content coming up. Know that we, as Frank mentioned, a one-shot this time 2 weeks from now. I'm very saddened that a couple of our party won't be able to join us, but they'll be there in spirit. And I'm super excited about it. It's going to be an interesting ReaperCon. I hope all that are there, it's going to be fun and safe, and we're going to have a good time.
Thank you, Mike.
But I have the most gratitude.
Obviously.
Even though it's not the most, I have gratitude. I also want to thank all the people who painted miniatures that we got to enjoy tonight. Sidwee was calling them out in the chat, but I just thank you because they're super cool. There's some very attractive ones this week. I will plug a little. If you're coming to ReaperCon and you're painting something to enter the contest, or if you just want to improve your painting in general, go to birdwithabrush.com and hit the blog. And I've got a lot of stuff about the most common issues that people like Michael and Jen and myself see when people show us their miniatures for feedback. So get ahead of that, and then you can make new mistakes we can tell you about after the MSP Open.
Oh, yeah.
Rhonda, is it true that you can enter your... Is it true that you can enter your miniature now in advance? Is that what Ron was talking about?
The page is up, but there should be a page up in advance, and you can use your own photos if you like, which is also nice.
Right, use your own photo and enter it. Fantastic.
Yep.
I don't know if it's up yet or not, but there is a pre-registration site, and the photos.
Yeah, if you go to
you're able to upload those. Please do that.
Yeah, it will save you and other people a lot of time and effort at the convention.
And if you want to put in what kind of medal you want, you can too.
I don't think there's a form for that.
I get a certificate of merit, please.
Yeah, we have a new aluminum category this year.
Yeah,
titanium. It's all the rage. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
Sidwee's mentioned the people by name who painted. So it was Fairy Bard, She-Bee Dragon, and Mrs. MC Spaz. Thank you all.
Well, Ron hasn't put in the registration yet because he needs my PayPal link. So if you want to contribute to my PayPal fund, may influence the judging.
And
it'll be most gratitude for that too, probably.
And Jen,
most
I know
most gratitude.
You're Jen, the most patient.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. Thank everyone as usual. Had a great time tonight as usual. Looking forward to next time.
Yeah.
Thank you. And for my part, I guess my only plug is, I guess I'll do two. We do have 2 shows next week, Tuesday, and 4 shows. It's gonna be busy. Tuesday,
Wow, you're
Tuesday
busy.
night we have our usual Tinker Tuesday. Thursday we have pregame when we'll have a guest who is a player, and will be on Nightheart Gaming's channel. A guest who is a player in Dungeons and Dramaturgy. Friday we have Maximum Maiden season finale for a Friday group, and Saturday we have the Maximum Maiden season finale for the Saturday group. And then we're packing everything up and we're going to ReaperCon because in 2 weeks, ReaperCon. So please, if you can, join us there. And
what time are those shows, Frank?
Well, they're all over the place, Michael. But 7 o'clock is Tinker Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. All these times are there. 8:30 p.m. for a pregame. 8 o'clock p.m. for the Maximum Maidens D&D game on Friday, and 4 o'clock p.m. for the Maximum Maidens D&D game on Saturday.
Awesome.
And so, yes. Other than that, I will let John take it over. John doesn't have anything, so we are just going to raid somebody, I believe. We had a raid going, and I started talking, and John canceled it.
Oh,
and
That's
he still gets the Best Producer of the Night award. I don't think we should withdraw it at this point.
Not at all.
Oh, no. Otters.
And
Otters.
I sneakily worked in Kay's journal, so now it's in the campaign as well. I look forward to that.
If you're going to ReaperCon, don't forget to look for the Nightheart shirts too.
We will have
Nightheart
some shirts.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They're reserved. You do them, Gene?
No.
Oh.
Frank showed me, and they're really cool. I'm just telling you.
Gene has done
Make sure you
some
get
other
'em.
shirts on the Reaper website. So has Bobby. So
yeah,
there may be some Crow's Nest related merch at the show too. Come find Jason.
There may be some giveaways.
Merch.
There's going to be tons of stuff going on, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Just bring bags and bags, and be prepared to ship it home from ReaperCon.
And a full Twitch schedule to boot. So if you're not going there physically, you can join us remotely right here on this channel.
Yep.
Pretty much from 9 to 9, starting Thursday through half of Sunday at least.
Yep. Ramping up to the apocalypse. That's what we're doing.
All right. So goodbye, everyone. I'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
I found a lizard. There's a lizard in my pants. Bye-bye.
But lizards don't wear pants.